properties. There we go. Are we back? There we go. All right. Sorry about that, guys. Apparently, it defaulted to a microphone that is not connected to this computer. So you guys should be able to hear me now. Etro, are you in here?
Yes, I am.
Perfect. Cool. I believe the people can hear you as well. I will send you the lobby info right here. Thanks for hopping in here, Etro. I appreciate it. Perfect. Cool. Yeah, no, we got a banger first match tonight for you guys. Second match, of course, is going to be that highlight match, and we're going to close it out strong tonight. 4 games of premiere for you guys, and this is the final week before our Thanksgiving break. So next week is going to be an off week for you guys, the only off week that we have this season. And then it's our final week of regular season after that, followed up by the major, which the format and the points actually just got decided this morning. So there'll be an announcement coming out in the next day or so here. But a lot of big moving pieces. Quick reminder for you guys at home, we do have a special going on right now for jerseys. If you order your jersey through the MNCS Ticket Spice link, so the link that you would order your LAN ticket through, you can purchase a jersey through there and you'll get a LAN ticket for only $10. So total $80 combo. It's normally $100 for that. Comes with your jersey and your ticket. It's a pretty sweet steal. But yeah, waiting on some players to get in here. Etro, have you had a chance to take a peek at the matchup that we got up first here?
No, but I'm sorry.
Yeah, you got any thoughts to start her off?
Well, that's Bemidji.
Yeah.
So I'd like to believe it'll be a fairly close. I know that
Mm-hmm.
the, that's set. Uh, I don't know.
Yeah, that same squad that they've been rocking this whole time.
I mean, I don't know. I have to. I feel like it'll likely be a close. A lot of attention. Like at the Max, who was rising star last.
That was a couple seasons ago. Yeah.
That was two seasons ago, and he really like proved himself. He's definitely a solid player.
Yeah.
Not super familiar with Cattle.
Those are his college teammates there, so you would think that they would have a bit more chem, but obviously not quite working out.
And yeah, I mean, I don't really know what to predict kind of because you have a lot of potential to watch this rhythm, but if they're not linking up like they like I'd like to say it's going to be close here. I'll say it's going to be 2.
Oop, looks like I messed up the lobby there, so I'm gonna remake that. I had the wrong team names in there. My bad, guys. But yeah, this is, I don't want to call it a throwaway series, but I don't expect this series to be as strong as the ones that we'll have later. Definitely 2 teams that, I mean, well, we've got one team that essentially rebuilt and one team that's been the same since the start. So with it being the end of the season, I don't know if Bemidji has enough time to figure it out. It definitely feels like they're running out of time.
Do you have a prediction? Who do you think is?
Man, I think that this goes to game 5. My heart tells me to give Lumberjacks the edge, but my brain tells me that Rochester is going to be the team that takes it. So we're going to go with my brain today, and I'm going to say Rochester take it in 5. What are you thinking?
Like I said, I'm thinking that the synergy of Jackson all legit team. That means they have a lot of plays. Like Bidgey's gonna.
Okay, all right. Slightly opposite predictions there. I sent you the new lobby info there. Take a look at your DMs, Etro. You should have it. Looks like we've got all the players in here. So once you're in, we will get this game underway. I think the people at home are probably seeing. There we go. Those are your lineups for tonight. We have back-to-back starting rosters here. Catamac, Sean, Fusion Bleach for Bemidji, Volt Destroyer, Stewie, and Kyler on the side of Rochester. This is going to be a tight series, and I'm pretty excited to see who can come out on top. I really think it's going to come down to whichever team can get the most cohesion between their players. I don't think that this will be a series decided by solo plays.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with that. Yeah, I think we'll really be looking toward have Volt destroy the ball and be good at getting it. I don't really know who the Bemidji Lumberjacks are, if they're just all around the good team that like passes would do the same thing.
I think that that's something that they've been really missing this season is those passing plays. I think that they would be a different team if they were hitting those lanes, and unfortunately we just haven't seen it from them. But getting game number 1 underway here for you guys. Kickoff is going to go way of the Lumberjacks. Sean immediately looking to make a move on this ball. He's going to lose it on the wall. Calster now trying to push it along. Or, I'm sorry, did that say Calster? Do they have a sub? Am I... Oh, that's a Catamac. I just can't read. Nope. Oh, Fusion Bleach!
No, I think they do have Callister as the sub here.
Is that what it is? Oh, okay. Weird.
Is my mic better, by the way?
Yeah, that is. It's definitely more clear for me. I'm not sure what's going on with... Oh, there we go. Are we looking better now on the overlay? That was kind of funky. Oh, I didn't... Wait.
So we have
switching over?
Alistair subbing up here for the Bemidji Lumberjacks in place of Catamac, it seems. But Alistair is definitely almost a veteran, you could say, of the Premier League.
Mm-hmm.
Had playtime in it as well, and I think he's Premier last season throughout. And he placed second, wasn't that?
I don't... Yeah, was it second place? He had a really good season.
Yeah, I can't quite remember, but...
Oh,
first minute of the game, we have 1 goal going for Rochester and 1 goal going for Bemidji. So we have a tie game here with still 4 minutes and 17 seconds left in the first match here.
Yeah, quick start, 1-1 off the rip here. Not sure. Do you have the stream up on your screen? Is it loading just fine? The preview that I got isn't working, but
I do not.
Volt Destroyer almost making the solo play there. Great start from him, trying to push the ball towards the net. Sorry, guys, trying to get... There we go. Should be able to see the names now. All right, all set there. Stewie looking to get rotating back third. Calster now trying to make a move on the net. It's going to be pushed to the side. Calster keeping it on the side of the rhythm. Demoed there by Volt Destroyer. An opportunity. Another demo, though, and the ball goes out way of the rhythm. Now Stewie cutting this ball off. He's going to look to dribble it out towards midfield. 2 touches. Cut off. Sean now with a chance. Dribbling the ball in the air. He gets a flip reset. Tries to get it past 1. Almost gets it under the defender, but not quite. An opportunity from Fusion Bleach. Batted away. Some great defense and offense coming out from the Lumberjacks. Looking really solid in the midfield. I love what I'm seeing from them.
A Volt Destroyer with a great goal line save. Looking to take control down the... Bangs it away. Sean's up. Gets a hit down. Kyler's to collect. Gets it around. A 50 in the air. He gets a nice 50. Stewie's there for the shot, but Fusion has a save. Volt Destroyer keeping it in with a quick shot from Stewie, and that is in.
So Kyler isn't playing now for Rochester? Is that what is going on? So we got Volt Destroyer, Stewie, and Calster?
It's Kyler, Volt Destroyer, and Stewie on Rochester.
Okay. And then where...
And Kyler's been here for a bit.
Oh, Calster is here in place of Catamac. That's what's tripping me up. Okay.
Yes. Fusion bleed up to Sean on the side wall. Volt Destroyer with the pop out to the side. Stewie looking for a pass middle. Kyler taking some time on the ball. Looks for a flick. Gets the save. Stewie up on the sidewall for a quick shot off the backboard. Nobody there to follow it up. We have a Kyler touch out mid to Volt Destroyer. He's up, looking for a flip reset here. He gets it. Barely saved off the crossbar.
Big opportunity there. They need to
Yeah,
capitalize. We're now under halfway here, and one of these teams either needs to widen this scoring gap or close it. I mean, the bang ball Rocket League is not going to work for the Lumberjacks here. They really need to start getting some offensive pressure.
yeah, it's seeming like Rhythm is able to take a lot of control of this game so far. They're seeming in possession. The passes are definitely coming out as we see there, and they get another one out of it. I was like a 4-man passing play. Volt there to finish it off. Kyler to Stewie. Stewie back to Kyler with a touch to Volt, and is in. And a bump from Kyler too to make sure that that net stayed open long enough for Volt Destroyer to get the goal.
Huge goal there. There's that separating goal like I was talking about. Rhythm now with 2. That's a pretty comfortable spot to be in. And Stewie is a player who is definitely known for being all around on the field. But what sticks out to me from Stewie is his ability to slow down the play and get comfortable when he's in the lead. He's really good at stopping the ball, just kind of shutting down plays from happening. He can develop plays as well, I mean, fantastically, but definitely what stands out to me with Stewie is his ability to shut it down. So with them being up by 2, that is a really comfortable spot for Rochester to be. Ooh, Kalster almost dunks it on his own net. Close double touch there. An opportunity from Volt Destroyer goes just wide, and now the ball is the other way. Oh no, Volt Destroyer backflips. I think that was just free either way. Fusion Bleach was tracking that one all the way down the field.
Yeah, Fusion gets that beat on Stewie, who's kind of the third man there, and Volt Destroyer getting demo pressured there, which leaves the net fairly open. It was definitely a kind of a scramble back for the Rhythm to try to make a save there.
Yeah, super open. They really just kind of left it to him. But that now lowers that gap back to 1. Rochester with the ball in Bemidji's half. Stewie now is going to look to make a play. He centers it down, but Kalster is there to cut that off. Fusion Bleach now solo with the ball. He's got 2 defenders he's going to have to beat. Volt Destroyer back passes. Sean with the 50 is going to keep this ball out center. Ooh, an opportunity from Kalster to score. Goes just wide. Now Volt Destroyer flicking the ball out towards midfield. He's looking to get some pressure going the other way. Ball on net, cleared away by Sean. Great save there to keep this at a 1-goal difference. And there's only 30 seconds left in this match. Lumberjacks, I don't know if this is a team that has what it takes to clinch up in the last seconds of a game.
Yeah, I mean, you never know. But yeah, Volt Destroyer taking it downfield, gets a beat on 1. Looking for a pass mid, cut off by Sean. Sean taking goal in the air. This is the flip reset. Stewie pops it up. Volt Destroyer is up for the ball. Gets a touch around 1 defender. Eiler keeping the pressure up, but Sean's there. The controlled touch, looking for another 50. Stewie gets the beat on that, though. And it's looking like this is going to be a Rochester win.
Yeah, Rochester really just holding it in Bemidji's half, shutting them down, and that was exactly what I was talking about. That's something that Stewie does really well. They have 3 very strong players on the side of the Rhythm who are going to be comfortable locking down whether it's in their own half or on the other half. And unfortunately, the Lumberjacks not able to get any breakout plays there. Taking a look at the scoreboard, Fusion Bleach, the standout player for Bemidji, getting 2 goals, 3 saves, and 4 shots. But Rochester just all around a very solid squad. The only stat that sticks out is Volt Destroyer's 5 shots on net. But besides that, they all kind of put in equal work, equal pacing, and were able to lock down the Lumberjacks with that.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. And it seems like I was saying earlier, Rhythm had a lot of control that game. I wasn't really watching the first minute. I was still getting my stuff set up as I had to kind of join last second here. But yeah, at least for the 4 minutes of gameplay that I was really paying attention for, it seemed like Rhythm really had it under control.
Yeah, it was kind of consistent though. That first minute was the same thing that you saw in minutes, 3 through 5. Then it was pretty similar of the Rhythm, just shutting them down, getting control of the ball, and then feeding it out to each other. I think that the team plays are what really stood out to me.
I agree with that. There's definitely a lot of finding your teammates on the field there, where it's like sometimes you don't see that too much. You kind of see players looking for individual beats and not necessarily looking as much for their teammates. But I think the Rochester Rhythm is doing that really well. And I mean, what I've seen from the last, I think, 2 weeks from this team, it's kind of looks like a different team to me in this game. And hopefully they can keep that up.
Yeah, I definitely. They're now up a series, and you know they're comfortable being up in a game. I can only imagine how they're feeling now being up in this series. But Stewie looking to get control in his own corner, almost rules one with Sean. Kyler now trying to control the ball. It's gonna get banged out by Bemidji. Back to Bemidji. Calster clearing the ball into his own corner. Kyler with an awkward double touch loses the ball. A huge opportunity there for him to get it center, but just wide. Sean now, great 50, almost gets it past the last defender, but Kyler reads it and gets a pickup on that slow ball. Calster now tries to make a dribble over to the sideball. He's going to lose it to Fusion Bleach, who gives the ball essentially to Stewie. Stewie banging the ball away again, and Bemidji now a chance from Sean. The double tap is just up. Oh no, Fusion Bleach misses the shot. Just some awkward positioning, it seems like, coming out from the Lumberjacks, causing them to be just off on these touches.
Yeah, and that very much could be based on having Callister in as a sub. They're not necessarily as used to that play style, and you know, Freeze in Rocket League is a very team-oriented game. What one person does affects what the other two people do greatly. And if you're not used to a player and what they're doing, it can definitely throw off the whole feel of the team.
And
the whole rotation and
Cadillac
pacing of
is
the team.
teammates with Fusion Bleach and Sean. Like that's their college teammates outside of the game. So I wonder if that Calster switch is an even bigger switch up because of that.
Yeah, very true. Yeah, I almost want to switch my prediction now, knowing that we have the sub up. But you know, what's said is what's done.
Yeah.
So we'll stick with it, and we'll see. Maybe it does go to Game 5, and maybe Bemidji does pull this one.
Ooh, huge opportunity. No,
Wow.
just off. Can he clean it up? There we go. Nice shot from Fusion Bleach to clean that one up, putting them ahead for the first time in this series.
That was a nice touch from Callister to get it middle, but and Sean with that shot forced two defenders to commit, leaving the net wide open for Fusion before the third defender could rotate in.
Yeah, massive shot there. Now up 1-0. Lumberjacks are going to lose this kickoff. Rhythm are going to have to make a move here. Volt Destroyer loses the ball. Fusion Bleach, a great high touch along the ceiling. Huge stuff from Sean. This is going to create an opportunity. Nobody's there to quite rip the shot. Calster with the soft touch puts it on net, but it's not enough to beat the defender. And Kyler's left with a free ball, bouncing shot. What happened here? Where did the Lumberjacks go?
Yeah, Stewie made a great touch middle that allowed his team to take control, and Volt Destroyer got a beat over the last really viable defender. So all that needed was a little bit of power before the guy could rotate back, and that's all it took for them to get that goal.
Dicey, I think you're right. Rochester does deserve to lose this game because they definitely need to clean their rooms. I don't know what's going on back there, but clearly what the messiness in their room, they've been putting the time instead of cleaning up their rooms into playing Rocket League. So maybe a benefit for your franchise there. Next season, I'm only going to draft people who have messy rooms because clearly they play the most Rocket League.
Very true. Yeah, this game has kind of seen this game at least has seemed like the tides have kind of changed. We have Bemidji finding a lot more control with the ball here, a lot more possession, and I think that's helping them out definitely a lot. I think they're making smaller touches to each other, and it's really kind of helping to break the possession that Rochester had in that first game.
Mm-hmm. Not very many double commits. It doesn't seem like it may be slightly rotational, but the players on the side of the Lumberjacks definitely seem comfortable around each other as we see Fusion Bleach gets caught a little awkward, not able to make a play on that ball, but a great read on that almost leads to a goal, but 50 away, I believe, by Stewie. Kyler now in his own corner, tries to get control, but Sean is there to cut him off. Stewie, a great bang, down to Kyler. Can he get it back to his teammate? He cannot. Loses the ball into the corner, and another clear from the Lumberjacks. A lot of bang ball going on right now, but Calster with an opportunity double touch goes just wide. Sean now with the shot. Oh, great save by Volt Destroyer. I have no idea how he was able to get on that one. Just over the crossbar. Bangs the ball back down, and the Lumberjacks are going to have to get some momentum from their own half again this game.
Yeah, fantastic read by Volt Destroyer for that save there. I think that ball was finding its way into the top corner. Well, we have Volt Destroyer again hitting the ball, as Rocket League players do. Fusion Beach with a nice beat over Stewie. Sean with the touch out. Quick pass middle coming there. Unfortunately, unable to find the shot.
Yeah, just a
little bit awkward here for the Lumberjacks. And a
Oh!
shot's on net, but Calster's there to save it.
Oh, that bounce though, does that? No, nobody's there from Rochester to capitalize. Some awkward bounces here, but consistently nobody there to capitalize on those awkward bounces. So maybe just some nerves, some jitters with it being tied 1-1. Nobody wants to be that player who overcommits as third man and causes the ball to go in your own net, right? Where you'd rather take the safe,
Yeah.
easy route, go into overtime, and look for a clean opportunity to score and just keep playing solid defense. But Stewie left with a free open net. No! Fusion Bleach is there to cut him off. He came out from the corner and stopped that shot. We are now going to over. I thought that was over. I thought for sure that was just a free net for Stewie. I did not see Fusion Bleach coming out of the corner there.
That was definitely a good save there to kind of keep the game alive for them. We have a nice beat by Fusion. Volt Destroyer up, misses the touch. Fusion with a pass middle. Sean is up, and he unfortunately misses it. Now we have a counterattack mounting up here. Tyler looking to take control, gets 50, but Volt's right there.
Ooh.
Looking for a quick shot. Fusion Bleach, a nice clear out.
I hope it goes to Fusion Bleaches. There we
Sean
go.
with a beat, a double tap almost. Almost
great
goes
read.
in. The shot was barely not in. Volt was able to get the save on that one.
Lumberjack's looking a lot more comfy now. I really like the infield passes out in front of the net that we saw on that play there. Soft touches, a shot from Sean. Is it on? It's just off. Another shot, barely off. I think Lumberjacks have scored, like they would be ahead by 3 if these shots that were just ever so slightly off were on the net. This wouldn't even be a close game here, but unfortunately, their shooting seems to be just a little wide. We're going to see Stewie now try to create an opportunity for Rochester. He's going to dish down to Kyler. Kyler to the ceiling. It gets cleared away by Calster. Volt Destroyer now looking for the double touch, but just off. Fusion Bleach getting the momentum going the other way for the Lumberjacks. He's going to miss the ball, allowing Stewie to shut down the Lumberjacks at midfield. Kyler with the huge chance. Was that the last defender? No. Great rotation by Fusion Bleach. He gets back. He's able to clear this ball out. And now Rochester find themselves on the back foot for what feels like the first time in a while. Flip reset. Oh, Kyler! Oh! Almost shuts it down there. What a fantastic shot from Kyler. Crazy flip reset. Rochester almost makes a mistake in front of their own net. 2 players sitting there waiting for the other player to go. Nobody goes, but it luckily is just off again by the Lumberjacks. Fusion Bleach finds himself looking to create another opportunity. It's going to get shut down by Stewie. Double tap read. He loses his boost to Fusion Bleach and has to rotate off. And now Calster is left with an opportunity to get this ball center. Cut off again in Rochester's corner. I really feel like the Lumberjacks are just pushing the ball continually towards the corner. It doesn't feel like they're looking for midfield plays. They just kind of play some bang ball chase, toss the ball into the corner. Oh, can Stewie seal this up? He can! Great read off the backboard. Dish to him by Volt Destroyer. Fantastic team play. There is another great team play from Rochester. They are flowing so well. It's fantastic.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. And I do have to say, Bemidji looked, I feel like their most comfortable plays that they are getting are out of counterattacks. They're getting a lot of nice, almost connects with passing plays downfield, or they do connect and barely get saved or barely miss. But those were definitely coming out, especially in the overtime there. Is definitely catching rhythm a bit off guard, but unfortunately weren't able to fully find anything out of those.
Yeah, I agree 100%. This game was so incredibly tight, but it shouldn't have been this tight. Bemidji really should have been beating up Rochester that game, it felt like.
Yeah, I mean the shots were even across both teams.
Oh,
But
they
the
are.
Lumberjacks, yeah, the Lumberjacks had made more saves that game. So definitely still the pressure of more threatening shots seemed to be going in favor of rhythm here over the Lumberjacks.
Yeah.
And as we're going into game 3, we have rhythm with a 2-0 lead. So for the Lumberjacks to even bring this back, they'll need a win 2, and then we'll have a game 5. But I mean, it's kind of looking like a convincing rhythm victory as of now.
Yeah, I don't know if they have what it takes to claw back. This seems like a team that plays better when they get ahead quick and they hold that lead. But Lumberjacks definitely have the ability to turn it on in high pressure situations. We've seen it from Fusion Bleach, I mean, countless times before. He's done it on LAN, he's done it in majors, he's done it during play-ins. I just feel like for whatever reason on the regular season, it's tougher for him to clutch up and do what needs to be done. But getting game number 3 underway, Lumberjacks having to reverse sweep if they want to have a chance of staying in here, and Rhythm just looking for one more game. It's been tight series so far, but the Rhythm definitely have the momentum heading into game number 3 here. And as I say that, Rhythm keeping that pressure up. Voltestroy with a great 50 in the Lumberjacks corner. Ball is going to get banged out towards midfield. Voltestroy passes it to Stewie there. Stewie is there. Oh, but he's just a little slow on the ball. And we're going to see Callister pick this one up in his own corner. Oh, an awkward touch. Oh, a miss by Sean and a great read by Kyler. This ball is still in front of the net. Voltestroy trying to get it on, but not quite able to. A fantastic pass by Kyler out of his own corner, but cut off by Bemidji, and they get some pressure going the other way. That demo might be enough to leave this net open. Oh, Voltestroyer not quite able to get enough spit on it. And this game definitely seems like it's Rochester's to lose here. They are really smacking around the Lumberjacks right now.
Yes, very true. And I mean, something I've been noticing is that it seems like both teams are being very successful at making the other team awkward when possession is had, and it's kind of hard for either team to get a real strong
Kyler!
But yeah, we have Fusion Bleach here with an opportunity, looking for a 50 on the backboard, and it works. It goes in. Stewie gets dunked, unfortunately, for Fusion to get that goal. So we have Bemidji striking first in this one.
What a shot by Fusion Bleach. A read on, you said it was Stewie on the back ball there, right? That he just dunked?
Yes.
Man.
Yeah.
Fantastic read there from Fusion Bleach. And there we go. There he is, playing well under pressure. Let's see if he can read this double. Doesn't have to. Awkward bounce out, leaves it center for Bemidji. Kyler with a great touch up. Can he read it to Voltestroyer? Voltestroyer is actually just going to come down off the wall now. Fusion Bleach in his own corner, looking to get some momentum going. Lost the 50 there. Ball still in the Lumberjacks half. Callister, a pinch. Oh, that's just on. Is Voltestroyer fast enough? I think he is. He sure is.
Barely.
Man, barely. That would have been terrible to go down by 2 on just an errant ball.
Callister up, looking for a shot on this one. Very threatening. Kyler there for the save. Fusion Bleach bringing it up with no boost, but looking to make something happen here. Fakes the ceiling shot and is making them very awkward, and Kyler's just able to find the net. That was a great play from Fusion there. Definitely made it look threatening and made them panic on the defense there, even though he had 0 boost and really no opportunity.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of expected Fusion to take the shot there, but coming off the ceiling with that speed and just keeping the ball awkward like that was enough to force Volt and Stewie to jump on that ball. Just a really good mind game play there out in front of the net, left the ball free, and some tighter rotations from the Lumberjacks, allowing them to capitalize on these slow balls out in front of the net. You definitely, if you're beating the last defender with a slow touch that's not bouncing out center, you need a tight teammate to be there, because the third for the other team is going to be swooping in to pick that ball up as quick as he can. So
that's very true.
Definitely looking for some more demos.
Threes Rocket League is all about that second man gameplay. If you don't have a strong position second man, especially in the premier level of gameplay, you're not going to really be able to find any true goal opportunities. And, you know, with Callister in that last goal being there so close, able to kind of take advantage of Rochester Rhythm being awkward on their goal line, able to find the open net. And so, yeah, it's definitely all about second man pressure to really get the offensive goals happening.
Seems like Bemidji are kind of finding their feet here in game number 3. Oh, man, and as I say that, pass from Callister off the corner of the wall, bounces out perfectly to Sean, who is more than happy to clean that one up. Fantastic read there. Puts them up by 3.
Places at top corner too. Fantastic shot.
So Rhythm,
you know,
man, I don't know.
He's sitting so close. He's sitting so close to the goal, but I mean, that's the speed that you need at this rank to really find an opening.
Well, and as soon as they started putting a player in that position, they started scoring. Like, as soon as they started having a second man that committed a little bit harder, it feels like they've been a lot more successful in the opposing side.
Very true. A nice pass from Fusion here. The shot not quite on. Stewie looking to take some control downfield. Looks for a pass mid. Volt with a shot. Blocked away from Sean.
Nasty.
Got Kyler taking possession. Looks for a flick. Fusion with a clear. Stewie with a nice beat over Sean. Looks for another touch. It's an awkward around fusion, but Callister's there. Sean here taking some control on the ball. Taking in the air, gets past one. Stewie there for the cutoff, though. Taking to the air himself. Looking for a flip reset. He gets a flip reset. Ball with a bump, but Sean's also there ready to block that.
Man, great offensive pressure coming out from Rochester, but I think it's just going to be too little too late here. Really liked what they were doing in front of the net, but Lumberjacks, great rotations allowing them to shut it down. Smart touches off to the side or to their teammates. Definitely the decider in keeping that ball out of their own net there. And as we approach the last 10 seconds of game number 3, this is a different Lumberjacks team than we saw in the first 2 games. Now, the big question is, can they carry this into the next game? Obviously, momentum is now a little bit more even than it was before. If they take game number 4, then momentum is definitely on the Lumberjacks side. But as of now, it's kind of even as far as the momentum argument goes. Lumberjacks taking that game pretty handedly. That was the biggest win that we've seen so far this series, I believe. And man, yeah, Lumberjacks just looking all sorts of better. Taking a look at these stats there, pretty similar stats to what we were seeing in previous games, but the big thing is that they're connecting on these shots. I mean, Fusion Bleach and Sean with 100% shooting, that's pretty solid.
Yeah, I mean, Rhythm here still had more shots than the Lumberjacks, but the Lumberjacks defense seemed to be so much stronger this game, with 8 saves coming out of the 12 shots that Rhythm took, which is very, very, very strong defense. So Rhythm, though, definitely towards the end of that game, I saw they seems to come alive a bit more during the last minute of that game than they were throughout the entire game there. So I wonder if they're able to find some more momentum towards the end there that they can help bring into this next game to kind of seal the deal on this series.
I'm a little concerned that they speed up too much. So that game, they found some success by speeding up, by outpacing the other team in front of their own net. But if you start doing that too much, then you're going to start making mistakes in your rotation. You're going to leave open nets, and it becomes a really dicey situation. So, a great pass from Callister down to Sean shuts me up. Woo! What a great midfield pass there. Fantastic read off the ceiling. Dishes it perfectly to Sean, who he has been deadly today in front of the net, hitting both corners like it's nothing.
Yes, very true. I definitely have seen Sean being a very threatening shooter throughout this entire series. I've seen it was maybe the last game or maybe it was 2 games ago where Sean had multiple attempts for redirects off the sidewall that were very threatening. But yeah, as we get into game 4 here, Rochester Rhythm looking to finish things, and
double
create an opportunity for the reverse sweep.
Yeah, opportunity there for Rochester, but a little awkward. This is quite the series, Etro. I definitely did not think that it was going to look like this heading out of game number 2. It felt a lot more one-sided at that point.
Yeah, it definitely feels a bit more even now, but I mean, Rochester mounted that early lead. So it's definitely a fighting battle for the Lumberjacks.
What is Rochester doing wrong? Is it like it just kind of feels like they're getting clean beat out in front of the net? What do they got to do to stop that from happening?
I think that's kind of a credit to Bemidji kind of switching their playstyle a little bit after those first 2 losses. They're definitely a little bit more speedy, and what the Rhythm were doing so strongly at the start of the series were they were really finding each other and taking a lot of control and using a lot of space, but Bemidji is not really giving them that space anymore.
Oh, Stewie with an opportunity. Great read off a corner bounce. I feel like a lot of goals are coming off of these corner bounces. Players kind of dishing the ball to themselves, but Stewie, fantastic touch. The cross from Volt Destroyer leaves him open. 3:30 to go here. We're tied back up. Here's another tight match for you guys at home. Rochester do not want this to go to game 5. They know that if that momentum shifts too much, Bemidji is going to be unstoppable. And, I'm honestly curious Bemidji clearly struggling a lot this season. Just surprising to me that they didn't make a change during the trade window, it makes me think that they know something that we don't. Like, there's got to be some thought that they're having that clearly they're able to clean it up. Ooh, great save there off a Stewie's shot. Voltestra almost able to get there with the second, but Bemidji staves them off to keep this at 1-1. Voltestra now 1v1 versus Calster. Great 50 out towards center. Stewie 50'd away by Sean. Ball now in the Lumberjacks corner. An opportunity gets cleared away by Fusion Bleach, but a 50 by Voltestra keeps the pressure on the Lumberjacks. Fantastic clear.
Calster looking for a redirect, unable to find it.
How was he there? How did he get that pass to Calster in the corner? What in the world is Bemidji doing? This is fantastic.
That was a great play from Fusion here to go up really quickly, keep that ball in, and Sean was very close second man there, just able to beat out the defender and put a shot top right corner. I mean, Sean's really kind of coming out as the star of these last two games, putting very threatening shots on that. You know, the Rhythm don't just
Sean
don't
again.
have a response to. They just don't have a response. They cannot figure out Sean right now.
Man, great read by Sean. Tips it up. Volt Destroyer. Oh, I don't think that was quite the touch Volt was looking to get on that ball. So
I don't think it was the touch that Sean was looking to get, but with a pre-flip, was able to get the dunk. Definitely unexpected as a defender there to read that.
That was massive. If the Lumberjacks win this series, it is because of Sean. Sean is going to have to be the series MVP. These last two wins are essentially coming off of his back, his ability to aggress the ball in the opposing side, to read his teammates' passes. Well, I guess not just that, is the ability of his teammates to dish him the ball.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say, is his teammates are doing a fantastic job of creating these opportunities just in the right spot to capitalize off of them. And I feel like that's definitely a common thing that people struggle with in this game a lot, is just really knowing where to be on that second man to actually capitalize on all of the opportunities.
Well, I think something interesting about what the Lumberjacks are doing in front of the net is they're only creating space with ball touches. They're really not looking for demos. They're not looking for bumps in front of the net or anything like that. They're just creating space naturally with their ball touches or how they're passing to their teammates, and it's working great for them. Like, they're shutting down the Rhythm while the Rhythm have all their plays on the field. As Kyler dishes the ball to himself, what a read for the double touch is going to put Rochester back within one. You know, Etro, we keep on talking about the Lumberjacks, but the Rhythm are also on this field, and they are definitely making themselves known now.
They are. I have noticed, though, from the first two games till now, the first two games, the Rochester Rhythm were doing a great job of passing a lot. And I feel like since then it's kind of become a little bit more solo-oriented. And I wonder if that's also part of the reason that they're unable to find as many opportunities as they had earlier.
Oh, the pass from Stewie almost leaves it open. He almost got the demo on Calster there. Shot from Volt Destroyer, cleared away. Fantastic read by Volt Destroyer to dodge the demo, and Sean's just going to put it in, going the other way. Oh, what happened to Rochester here? It seemed like they had everything going their way. That misflip by Stewie maybe left Volt a little more awkward than he expected to be. Oh, Rocket League is just a bad game. He saved that. We definitely saved that.
It was definitely a close attempt. Yeah, I think the third man there got caught a little far forward, and so it was kind of a scramble for Rochester to get back to really get a strong defense up before the shot came out. But as we say that, Sean with another shot off the post. Not quite able to find it. We looking for another touch there. Fakes it to Volt Destroyer. Volt Destroyer with another touch. Looks for a mid pass to Kyler. Sean there with a nice save. Backflipping that one.
This series...
Stewie with another threatening attack. Blocked away from Sean.
I think we're going to go the distance here. 30 seconds left. Rochester hasn't been able to capitalize quickly in the final seconds yet this series. Etro, we casted a series last week. I forget which one it was, where it felt like, it was the Maulers versus, I forget who. And the Maulers just were always able to come back and capitalize.
I went back and I looked at that replay. They scored, I think it was 3 goals in 8 seconds to tie the game up.
Yeah, just ridiculous.
There was 8 seconds left on the clock. It was absolutely ridiculous.
Lumberjacks gonna take game number 4. We are going to game number 5, folks. I hope you guys were looking forward to this. We called it. There you go.
Yes, we called it.
Game
let's see who's right quick. Let's see who's right. Sean absolutely throwing that game, though, with all 4 goals from the Lumberjacks out of coming from Sean.
Look at
But
those stats.
with that being said, we have both Callister and Bleach very active in the passes to kind of create those opportunities.
Yeah, it kind of seems like the Lumberjacks have figured out how to play around Callister, or maybe not play around him, but how to utilize him.
Yeah, very
Callister,
true.
4 saves, 3 shots, 1 assist. They're absolutely huge. Sean, definitely the standout player. 4 goals out of 6 shots. That's absolutely massive. And 3 saves on top of that. He is all over the field. Only 2 demos that whole entire game, and it was both from Fusion Bleach. No other demos there. So I'm curious if that's something that the Rhythm are thinking that they're going to need to start implementing for this next game. Do they need to start taking out Calster and Sean in order to stop the Lumberjacks from continually scoring? Like, it feels like they got to do something different, and demos
Yeah,
is all I can think of.
if I remember right, back in the first and the second game of the series, there was a lot more demos coming out in general, and it's kind of both teams have taken a bit of a step back from that. And that's when Bemidji was able to start kind of coming online here. So maybe those demos are what's gonna kind of be the answer for Rochester to, bring back the wins that they're looking for here.
The concern becomes, though, are you now overcommitting a man in order to get those demos? Because clearly the Lumberjacks are comfy using just 2 players. I feel like Rochester has utilized the 3-man plays a little bit more than the other side. Kyler sets up Stewie, fantastic. There was a 3-man play. The pass from Voltestroy to Kyler up to Stewie. I feel like Rochester is definitely utilizing those plays more, and if they start committing a man to chase demos, what kind of situation does that leave the other 2 players in?
Yeah, very, very true. And that pass there is kind of reminded me of the first 2 games where we really saw those passes coming. So hopefully, Rochester has kind of reminded themselves that those passes were working for them, and hopefully we see that a lot more. Yeah, Sean chasing for the demo on Kyler, unable to allow him to challenge the ball, but nice 50 from Bolt Destroyer and a beat going out.
Oh, can Kyler get there? Oh,
and then Stewie barely misses that shot to the top corner. Bolt Destroyer with 0 boost, looking for a 50 here, it seems.
That would have been huge.
Kyler up early, but man, the backboard defense coming out from Itchy.
Oh, just off again. Oh man, the Rhythm. Maybe the Lumberjacks were able to shake whatever hex they had and they put it on the Rhythm now, because the Rhythm having great opportunities, but they've been just wide. And a shot from Calster, but Volt Destroyer is going to be there. 50 by Sean, ball bouncing in the Rhythm's corner. It's going to go down to Fusion Bleach. He's been dangerous from this corner. Looks to slow it down. A pass out to Calster. Calster takes a shot and it's on. Tied it right back up. You cannot leave Fusion Bleach with space and boost in your own corner. You just can't. Either he'll dish them up or he'll score it.
An absolute great pass. Not using the backboard really for that pass, just kind of hitting it out the midfield, and with Callister being so close, able to beat out every defender. It was definitely then another one from Fusion off the kickoff. Callister with a nice beat here. Dunking over, I think that was Stewie, and leaving Volt in an awkward spot.
Man,
those are just like the kickoff moments that are really hard to figure out how to defend.
A huge momentum shift in the last 10 seconds here. The Lumberjacks coming back very quickly. Rhythm now find themselves again on the back foot. Awkward touch goes missing for Volt Destroyer. Fusion Bleach is left with an open net, essentially. Great read off the crossbar. They go by 3. Now here is where this maybe gets a little bit scary. You don't want your team to get so far ahead that they get comfortable, like we were talking about that Mahler series last week. If you get too comfortable ahead and time starts to run down, the other team's momentum does not run out like your momentum is going to run out. So Lumberjacks hopefully keeping that in mind and not overcommitting on the ball. But as I say that, Rochester
still have over half the game left, and it's still a very close game, but it is game 5, so those nerves are also going to play a factor in this game.
Yeah, as we hit the halfway point here, a 2-goal difference is not insurmountable as Calster shuts me up and he makes it 3. There we go, 4-1. So can they just keep doing what they're doing? Is that going to be enough? Stewie gets caught in an awkward rotation there. maybe the Rhythm are just too beaten down, having lost the last 2 games after taking the first couple. I wouldn't say they took them commandingly, but the Lumberjacks definitely have been taking the last 2 games with a very commanding lead.
Yeah, it's very true. Dewey with a pop out middle. Fusion Bleach with a touch to his own corner. Tyler getting beat out there. Bolt Destroyer up, looking for a shot. Not quite enough sauce to find the net, but he's looking for bumps. Trying to open up anything possible. But, you know, I've seen this a couple times where, you know, Rochester will have a lot of pressure on the play, and they'll go past the first and the second man, and there'll be nobody on the ball from Bemidji's side, but the third man from Rochester is nowhere to be found, and you know, Bemidji's just able to collect and create a counterattack.
Yeah, super true there.
So,
you know, at the start of this game, we saw the Rhythm come out missing on some attempts, and that was the same thing that we were seeing from Bemidji when they were floundering and losing, and I'm just concerned that at this point, those misses are going to be what decides this game. I mean, I believe that there were 3 nets that they potentially could have scored on that just barely hit post. So with a minute and a half left, Rochester needs to turn it on, and if the Lumberjacks can keep starving them a boost and keep control of the ball, Rochester doesn't have a dream of getting back in this.
yeah. I mean, Rochester are definitely putting out some threatening attempts, but like as we saw in earlier games, you know, the Bemidji Lumberjacks, they have a really powerful defense with the squad. Can't really get anything past them, it seems.
Yeah, I feel like the defense for the Lumberjacks definitely kind of tightened up here. But, opportunity there, gets cleared away. The Rhythm now again on the back foot, under a minute to go here in game number 5. Stewie's going to bounce the ball out towards mid. Kyler's going to be there. If Stewie can get the touch, Fusion Bleach with a great read shuts that ball down. Kyler now potentially looking to turn on it. He does not. He leaves it to Volt Destroyer. Great read there. Kyler bounces up to Stewie. Stewie with the shot. Can he get it past Fusion? He cannot. Fusion has been an iron wall on the defensive side for this game, shutting down any ball that happens to be on net for the Rhythm. Just absolutely fantastic. You could not be more pleased with how he changed his gameplay style throughout this series, and kind of they really molded themselves around Sean, and it feels like that's why the Lumberjacks are going to take this game. Well, reverse sweep. Not even just take the game. They're taking the series with this reverse sweep.
That was definitely a roller coaster of a series, really.
Big smiles from Sean. You can see him on the screen right now. As Calster puts another one in. Look at that. Oh, man. Huge win for the Lumberjacks there. The reverse sweep is absolutely massive. You called it. Lumberjacks taking it in 5.
Yeah, I mean, after that game, too, I was like, it's kind of looking a little bit rough. I really thought Rochester was going to take that one in 3 towards the end of that. But, you know, Lumberjacks really found their fire for game, able to, you know, chop up the Rhythm and find that reverse sweep that they very much needed.
Yeah, that was huge for them. Taking a look at the scoreline there, Calster, the big decider in that game. But I don't know if you agree with me on this. I think Sean is the MVP for this series, regardless of if he did a whole lot in that final game number 5. He's what held them in for games 3 and 4. So huge win.
Yeah, it's definitely a hard to, because as much as I agree with you, Sean is a valuable contender for the MVP here, but you know, Fusion Bleach, for a lot of the goals, he was the one making the really big plays to kind of open up the space for his teammates to score, as well as being an absolute wall on defense. So you know, part of me also wants to give it to Fusion Bleach over Sean, just because, you know, none of that really would have happened, I guess, without Fusion making the big plays that he did.
Agreed. Fusion definitely changed up his play style there, and that was really what helped them lock it down. But up next for you guys, that is the wrong screen. There you go. We have got our highlight match of the night. The Maulers taking on the Steelhawks. This is a series you guys are not going to want to miss. So we will be coming back to you guys in about 6 minutes here. Give us a sec to get set up, and we'll be right back. All right, everybody, we are back. Short little break for you guys. Sorry, my screen is a little dark. We're gonna fix that with this right here. We're brightened up. I'm joined by Etro. That first series was an absolute banger. Oh my gosh, Bemidji coming back to complete the reverse sweep against the Rochester Rhythm. Up next for you guys, we have the Bloomington Maulers taking on the Fargo Steelhawks, and this is the highlight match of the night. I don't want to waste too much time as we're already a little bit behind. I want to get in here quick. Etro, you got any predictions for me here?
You know, I'm sorry to say, I'd say I'm a little bit of a fanboy of Bloomington Maulers after the past couple weeks.
Hey, me
so
too, man.
I think they're gonna take it. I'll say 3-1 because I mean, Fargo Steelhawks are still very strong. Fargo Steelhawks are second on standings. Maulers are third, so it's definitely gonna be a close series. But you know, I'm rooting for the Maulers here, I'd say.
I'd agree with you on that one. You know, last series, I went with my head and not my heart, and it was wrong. We're going to flip it on this series. I agree that I like the Maulers a little bit more, maybe personally. I'm a big Wesley fan, love that guy, but Steelhawks are a super solid team. I'm going to say we're going to have back-to-back series, go the distance here. We will have the Maulers taking it in 5 over the Steelhawks, is my thought. But
do you think this is going to be another reverse sweep situation? Or do you think it's just going to be a normal game 5?
You know, if the Maulers find themselves in a situation where they're going to need to reverse sweep, I don't know if I believe in them as much as I would have believed in Bemidji for that last series. I think if the Steelhawks get to that third win is a lot closer than it would be against other teams.
Yes, for sure.
Let's see. Looks like we got everybody in the lobby. Heck yeah. All right. And we got predictions good. Twitch chat, go ahead. Let me know who are you guys taking a look at to take this series. But I believe we have both full starting rosters for this match here. So could be absolutely huge. Yeah, it looks like Comet is actually here. Now, I know that there were some discussions on Comet sticking around with the Maulers. I know he's had some stuff going on with his PC, and he was kicking around whether or not he'd be able to stick it out. But very happy to see him in this match here. Wesley really believes in Comet's ability in the league here, so curious to see
and
what
I
they do.
agree with that.
Yeah, you're a big
I agree with
Comet
that.
fan?
Last time I casted, Comet was absolutely on fire, and you know he was the reason for that comeback. We saw the other game. He scored 2 of those goals. Last week that was, and you know he got the MVP from me, and so you know I'm hoping that he's gonna continue being as strong as he was last week.
Well,
all right,
I was muted there.
Vanished.
Sorry about that. But
All
yeah,
good.
no, I agree 100%. Comet was that guy who kept them in that last time, and I would expect to see him do it again. So I'm gonna take a peek here at this. That's why that's funky.
All right, we have Azel getting some time on the ball here. Zodak with a nice touch to himself, taking some control, bringing up the wall. Taking some time here as he sees it gets demoed. And a nice 50 from Wesley. Azel clearing the ball downfield. Hams is up, looking for a redirect. Puts it to backboard. Comet with the clear to Zodak. Zodak looking for a double. Vanish with the block off. Wesley's waiting on the sidewall, looking for the shot. Unfortunately, little wide.
Just a little.
And we have, yes, and we have Zodak. Azel with a nice touch from control. Wesley there on the sidewall gets a nice cut off. Going to the ceiling. And yeah, I mean this one's kind of a little bit of boomer ball happening right now with a lot of 50s or just bangs coming out.
Yeah, at the start of the match, it kind of seems like that's how it goes here in Premier, is both teams kind of feel it out. Nobody wants to really commit that second man off the rip if that's not going to be what works. If you need that first man to be picking up demos or bumps in order for the second man to actually be able to convert, that's a tough thing to figure out without giving up a goal.
That's very true.
Oh, a huge
already a lot of like redirect passes coming out, and I've been noticed. So hopefully we'll see some crazy redirects throughout the series.
I was trying to figure out. So I know Zodak has had a handful of LAN appearances. Now, is he in the Champions Club of? He is
I'm
not. I
I'm
don't
not.
believe he's had the opportunity to win season yet, and I think that this might be the team to do it. Whether or not Comet sticks around, Wesley is a super solid player who, oh, you can kind of put anybody around. A fantastic shot by Vanish, absolute banger there on target. How do you get so much power? Oh my gosh, shuts
Yeah,
him
it didn't
down.
even he didn't even flip for that one. He just kind of
He didn't flip.
used air roll. He didn't flip. He just used air roll to find that one. That was a very, very fast shot. Very hard to save.
That was huge. But yeah, between Wesley and Zodak, I think that as long as they can find a third who's comfortable in their rotations, that's really all that they're looking for. Somebody who isn't out of place and they're getting scored on because of that. So whether or not Comet sticks around, this is a super solid squad, and they definitely have a chance to go the distance this season. But as we get game number 1 underway here, the Steelhawks showing why they are the number 2 team in Vanish with that crazy strong shot. Very good mechanics there. Wesley looking to shut him up, but he puts it too wide. Comet now trying to shut down the Steelhawks in their own corner, but he goes missing. Zodak, centered ball. Is anybody there? Oh, Comet almost there in time, but it gets 50'd away by Vanish. Vanish now playing the slow ball, looking to 50 past Wesley. Hams is there, but it's going to get cleaned up by Zodak. A double commit there. Might leave this ball open. Comet puts it to the sky. Wesley going on this one. He gets the bump on Azel, but nobody is there to clean it up. Kind of an awkward showing from the Maulers there. That whole play kind of played out a little awkwardly. I'm not sure why Comet put it up to the ceiling there.
Yeah, I think that's probably a slight mistouch. And Wesley was trying to read the dunk over Azel, and Azel ran out of boost, so we didn't get a touch on the ball, so it kind of threw Wesley off himself.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely an opportunity that just the unfortunate circumstances of Rocket League, and we have a goal coming out here from Azel. The Maulers finding themselves awkward in front of net here. Comet looking for a touch and not able to read it. And, the other two defenders scrambling to try to make a save, and Azel was able to find a 50 to the corner of the net.
Maulers definitely need to figure out how to clean it up here. This is only game number 1, so plenty of time. This is the warm-up game. It doesn't really count, whatever you want to call it. But Maulers definitely need to learn from this game, and the Steelhawks are just kind of putting on a masterclass right now. Very strong mechanics, very strong reads. I love the touches that they're getting because they're either giving it to a teammate or setting themselves up to follow it. As we see Azel cut that ball off. He looks to 50 Wesley. He wins the 50 against Wesley. Another 50 by Comet puts the ball back into the Steelhawks corner. So they're just going to let time run down. They're going to take game number 1 2-0.
Yeah, that play there at the end with Azel was very clever. He's just kind of trying to waste time as much as possible. Instead of just banging the ball away, he waits for the 50 and just makes sure that Maulers have no way of coming back.
What stood out to you from that game? Do you think it was just the Maulers still trying to find their footing and solid play by the Steelhawks, or were the Steelhawks doing something to take it?
So I think it was a mixture of Steelhawks doing a really good job of controlling the ball in a way that doesn't give possession away.
Mm-hmm.
But I also think that was assisted by Maulers at times just giving the ball away a little too far, that the Steelhawks were able to find an opportunity to just straight out beat the ball or beat their challenge. And I think that definitely helped the Steelhawks create a lot of pressure and continue that pressure.
So now looking into this next series, or this next game, excuse me, Mahler's definitely looking to change it up. I don't think that they need to change rotations or start chasing demos and stuff. I just think that they need to look for more individual plays, give space to
Yeah.
kind of develop out of a single player, because I feel like we saw a lot of bang balls coming out of them and chasing the ball just because they ended up in an awkward spot. Oop.
Yeah, I also think a big thing will be making sure that their touches, especially their first touches, are a bit more controlled. Because I feel like there's been a couple like slight missed touches that the Steelhawks were really able to take advantage of.
Yeah, and that's what they're going to do. Fargo is a very, very solid team. I'm sure that Kazan Andy is super proud of the team that he's been able to draft here into Premier. You know, well, not the only loss, but one of their big losses coming to Duluth, who actually took their first loss this week off stream yesterday versus Chicago, or 2 days ago, excuse me, versus the Chicago Jungle, who are a premier team that hasn't been performing very well. So clearly these teams can bleed. It's just all about figuring out what you guys need to do to stop them. And Mahler's immediately coming out swinging here. His Comet's going to look to dish this one out back behind him to Wesley. Zodak with the fake. Almost gets that one on net. Wesley now looking to control this one in the Steelhawks corner. Great 50 there. It's going to dish it up to Comet. He's going to look for the demo. Nobody there for him to bump, though, as Zodak is left, banging this ball back into the Steelhawks corner. There's all three players of the Maulers up in the corner there. Very dangerous as Zodak tries to put it on net. Wesley with another one. That's a couple of shots already up high from the Maulers. Seems like they're panicking. They're just kind of slapping it towards net as an opportunity gets cleared by the Steelhawks.
Comet taking this moment to the back corner, looking for some control on the ball. Ham's off the ceiling, looking for the dunk. Comet fakes low. Ham sits to Zodak. Zodak pops it off the ceiling. Vanish there to cut it off. Wesley taking control in the air from this. Looks for a 50. It's beat out. Hams with the sidewall double touch. Pops it up to Vanish. Vanish takes a shot. Comet there to block it. Gazelle looking to make a play on this one. 3 players flying in the air for that one. Comet gets a free ball, bringing it to the air. Goes for a flip reset. Gets dunked by Azel. Zodak up, looking for the beat, but Vanish is just there. Wesley gets a nice touch to the side, but Azel's there to cut it off. And Comet with a nice 50 to Wesley middle.
Ooh, huge opportunity. Oh.
And Vanish just playing in great defense, not really letting anything through so far as I've seen this game.
Yeah, that was a big cutoff there. Steelhawks looking pretty solid. I like what I'm seeing from the Maulers. I would like to see some more confidence out of their solo plays. We mentioned it prior to this game starting, but as we reach the halfway point in game number 2, I feel like the Maulers just haven't been able to get momentum going from a single player, as Wesley there gets dunked by Hams, and that's exactly what I'm talking about. These Steelhawk guys. It's not just that the Maulers themselves aren't able to put themselves into position to get solo plays going. It's the fact that the Steelhawks are all over them on the ground, in the air. The 50s that these guys are getting, it's crazy. Like, they're shutting them down with every 50.
Yeah, very true. It's like the Steelhawks are either getting a great 50 that they're winning out of the altercation, or they're just straight beating the Maulers to the ball. And, you know, especially in that first minute of this game, kind of reflecting a little bit, there's like that entire time, you know, the Maulers were just stuck in their corner and they're unable to get the ball out of it.
Ooh,
Vanish with a great demo, opening up space. Hams gets the ball out to the corner to himself, pops it up, but Zodak gets a block. But Vanish is just right there. Looks for a quick pass or a quick shot, I guess, but doesn't quite go in. Zodak with a nice flick over. Vanish there with 50. Wesley's up. Looks for a pass to Comet. Comet off the backboard. Vanish there to cut it off. Vanish with a nice 50, and the ball's just in midfield with all the time in the world.
Just free for Hams.
Steelhawks.
Yeah. Just left it.
Nice
to
block
him.
by Wesley.
Oh man, Azel. You know, the Steelhawks are. I'm sorry, not the Steelhawks. The Maulers are playing a lot more solid this game, and the Steelhawks have just kind of matched what they're doing. They've slowed down their play a little bit. They're not as aggressive on these pushes. What I'm seeing out of these Steelhawks is just ridiculously smart Rocket League. They're reading the other team perfectly, and they're just positioning themselves around them. And there's a reason why this team was in the #1 slot, or tied for the #1 slot for so long against the Duluth Superiors. But, you know, more than likely, I believe in the next couple of days here, we have a big LAN announcement, and we will have the major getting announced and all that sort of stuff. But I believe that the first and second place teams are still going to auto-qualify. Do not quote me on that, but very probably for Premier, it might be a little bit different for the other leagues with them having different number of teams. That first and second still will auto-qualify. So this is a very big series for the Maulers and the Steelhawks, because this is the second and third place team. These guys are potentially playing, if they go perfect for the rest of the season after this, they're playing for that slot to auto get into LAN. So as we head into overtime for game number 2, there's a lot riding on this series.
Yes, very true.
Oh, it's
And
Hazel!
maybe it's not quite. Hazel passing it back mid again. Wesley with a touch up to Comet. Comet bangs it out, and Wesley's there again. It's a nice touch over, but now Vanish able to take control with this ball and gets it past 2. And now Comet's kind of scrambling on the backboard here, but he gets some nice control on it.
Very solid control from Comet. I really like to see that from the Maulers. Oh, Hams gets the dunk on Zodak. I'm looking for the Maulers to get more control of the ball on their own end. What the Steelhawks are doing is they're taking 50s and they're shutting down the Maulers, whether it's at midfield, whether it's on their own side. The confidence they have going into the challenges just kind of seems to be the separator between these two teams. And I really liked to see the Maulers starting to do that at the end of the game there in overtime, but it wasn't enough.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I was about to comment on that as well. This entire game, I've seen Steelhawks having all of the control, looking for 50s or just getting the beat. And the couple times that Maulers really kind of got the ball, it'd be maybe 1 to 2 touches from their team before it was right back into Steelhawks' hands.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think the two things that Maulers can do to potentially turn the tides of things is maybe get a little bit more demo heavy to kind of help break up that pressure that the Steelhawks is getting on them. But they have to be careful to not overcommit themselves in the process.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of just as they're rotating, finding whatever they can. And the other thing would be just maybe figuring out a way to play a little bit more aggressive and a little bit faster to kind
Sure.
of beat these Steelhawks.
Yeah.
Because if they beat them to the ball before the Seahawks can really find that control, then they have a better chance of winning the 50, or they can just straight up beat the Steelhawks to the ball.
Yeah, 5 demos coming out from the side of the Steelhawks, and we learned on Wednesday during our last overtime stream that Wesley is currently the second place most demos overall. We got Bubbly in first, or it might be Fours in second, and then Wesley third, but Wesley either the second or third most in demos since season 5. And just not a lot coming from them. And taking a look at the Steelhawks squad, I feel like they have to be taking players out. As Wesley, great shot there. Quick read off of Zodak's 50. Azel just kind of in an awkward spot in the bang. And there we go. For the first time, the Steelhawks are caught off rotation. That's the first time this series we've seen that.
Was that the first goal from Maulers this series?
Oh, don't tell me that. Please tell me they had one before. Twitch chat, if you guys are looking.
I think that might have been the first goal from them this series.
It
was definitely good. That's the momentum shift that they need to kind of turn this around with the Steelhawks going up 0.
Huge goal there for the Maulers. Now that they're in the lead, for the first time this series in the lead, let's see if they can lock it down as we see Hams with a fantastic touch out towards middle to Vanish. Vanish with the double tap, but it is off. A free clear for Wesley. Wesley now looking to challenge this one. He is off. Zodak puts it up to himself, looking for the dribble, gets the flip reset, and he gets the shot as well. Super smart Rocket League coming out from these Maulers, guys. Fantastic play there. Zodak dishing it up to himself, gets the flip reset. Did he wave dash? He wave dashes into it, puts it in.
And also, I want to note, like I said with the demos, Wesley there bumped Vanish out of being able to try to even make a save. Vanish probably would have been there to make that save if Wesley didn't get that bump. So that was a huge key moment to help solidify this lead that the Maulers just created.
That was huge for them. I mean, I didn't see that coming. You're right. That bump from Wesley was definitely the deciding factor in that goal there. Now that they're up by 2, are they going to get too aggressive? There we see Zodak challenging on a ball that Comet already kind of had control of. Wesley's cross field. He's going to try to challenge that one, but he's off. Comet dishing it to himself. Looks to get a touch to the wall, just off. Great clear by Hams. He's going to free up some space for Fargo. Wesley giving the ball to Vanish. Vanish trying to get a pass to his teammate. Oh, an errant touch. Leaves it free to Zodak, and they're up by 3 now.
Yeah, and man, I just want to kind of like reiterate that, kind of exactly what I said earlier, where, they're kind of just playing a little bit more aggressive and making a lot better plays to kind of force the Steelhawks to have to bang the ball to their own team. Even if the Steelhawks were to get some, oh, wow.
Ooh.
Kickoff goal happening as I was trying to explain that.
What even?
Hams with a nice dunk over and, chaos in the corner, and Azel just finds a nice pop over. But yeah, as I was saying, it's the pressure that's coming out from the Maulers that's really allowing them to get a little bit
Oh,
more
another!
control in the game
Man,
than they had before.
that last goal came directly off of a massive 50 that Fargo got. They got a huge 50 on Wesley to free that up going over him. So Fargo, I'm sure, is going to be looking to slow this game down. I feel like most teams would be looking to speed up to try to catch up and get 2 more goals, but I have to imagine that Fargo is trying to slow the pace down, get back to that style of game where they're taking the 50s and setting each other up as Hams almost with a late flip almost gets the goal, and Vanish is going to be there to clean it up. And yeah, I gotta imagine that Steelhawks is looking to go back to a slower game of Rocket League where each individual player
Well,
can get more control.
yeah, as you're saying that quick, I mean, I definitely noticed in that last like 20 seconds as they led up to that goal, it was all very controlled coming out from the Steelhawks. Very slow and very controlled. You know, Mahler didn't really have a single play on the ball there. A little bit of kickoff weirdness coming out from the Steelhawks, but they're still able to maintain control.
Big opportunity there. Well, Zodak, excuse me, going to clear the ball away. It's going to be kept in by the Steelhawks. Comet now looking to track this one as Azel puts onto the sidewall. That is 2 players for the Steelhawks beat. I'm not sure where the third is. Vanish going to be in that corner. A great pass by Hams. Hams now on his backboard having to make a play. Wesley reading it out of the air. I don't know why he's up there, but he is on that ball. Zodak with a slightly awkward touch is going to leave it to Azel, and now the Steelhawks are in the opposing side. And this is where it gets dangerous as Vanish puts the ball to the backboard. Going to get cleared away by Wesley. Azel popping it back up. He's going to look to dish it back down. I believe Vanish is going to be the player committing on this ball in the Mauler's corner. He looks to get it center, but Wesley is there to keep him awkward. A fantastic 50 by Hams keeps that ball in the Mauler's half. Vanish taking a shot. It's just over, and Wesley is there to clear it away. Hams now looking to put the ball back center. Comet is going to be there to pop it off the backboard as Azel gets a touch on the ball, leaving it down to Zodak. A great demo off Zodak. Could potentially open some space for the Steelhawks, but Comet is going to be there to shut it down. Man, just a lot of back and forth Rocket League here. Not bang ball Rocket League. Both teams looking to get control and hold on to it. Still just back and forth.
Yeah, it's back and forth, but I mean, Fargo Steelhawks were doing a great job of keeping that ball on the Mauler's half that entire time still. I don't think it passed that entire time onto the Steelhawks half until those 2 demos came out. And those demos were for the Steelhawks, so it's... Yeah.
Man, yeah, the Steelhawks definitely not out of this as we approach 1 minute left in game number 3. The Steelhawks are looking to take this sweep. Now, something interesting about this season is that we are not awarding points for individual game wins. It's either all or nothing on this. So whether or not, oh, huge opportunity there for the Steelhawks just off. Whether or not the Maulers are able to crawl back and get 2 more games, it doesn't matter if they can't take that 3rd game. So there's a lot of pressure riding on each and every single kickoff. I mean, every single live ball for this game is going to be huge. As Hams looking to seal this one out. It's going to get cleared away by Comet. Vanish with the center to Azel. Azel not able to get the shot on. Zodak now in his own corner looking to get this ball out. Wesley, awkward flip, challenges it. He gets it past Vanish, but Hams is there. Hams now going for the dribble. He's got 2 defenders back. Gets it past Zodak. Bouncing ball out towards mid. Vanish is going to dish this over to Azel. Azel off the backboard. Going to dish it down to Hams? No. Tries to go for the shot. Hams rotating back. Unfortunately not able to get there. And Vanish now looking to get this ball back down. Wesley with the shot. It's going to go by way of the Maulers. And that was pretty big for them, I'll be honest. Heading out of games 1 and 2, I didn't think the Maulers would take this one.
Oh, I mean, they had that early lead, which was enough to kind of... I think it was 3-0 at the very start. And Steelhawks returned with 2 goals, but I mean, it wasn't enough. They needed that 3rd one to kind of, even give them a chance to bring that game back. But that was a very much needed win from the Maulers, because, that was the match point. And now, they have the potential to go all the way and, show the Steelhawks who's boss.
Man,
But
yeah. It's definitely going to be a 1 game at a time sort of thing. Do you think that they have it? Looking at the score lines here, it's surprising to me that the Maulers were able to take that game.
yeah, well, what I have to say to that is, like, the first 2 minutes, the Maulers, they looked very strong and they're kind of doing what I said before the game and it was working. But then towards the end of the game, the last 2 minutes, the Steelhawks kind of slowed down the pace, like you were saying, and really took control of the play. And then the Maulers were just stuck on defense. right? Like forced to make saves or backboard clears to even try to get it out. But every time they cleared the ball, there's another player from the Steelhawks just waiting and ready with 100 boost or control on the ball. And the Steelhawks are doing a great job of leaving a lot of pressure um, on the Maulers to make plays. They aren't really finding opportunities to make any counterattacks because
That's a very good point. And now, as we're getting game number 4 underway, the Maulers, I'm sure, have got it in the back of their mind that they can't do exactly what they did last game. There was definitely a little bit of luck that went into it. Same thing with the first series that we watched today. The Steelhawks, the only reason why they didn't win it is because their shots just weren't on. They had opportunities to put the ball in the net, but they were just off on those opportunities. So Steelhawks, again, we saw it at the end of the series. At the start of last game, they were playing a lot faster, trying to just outspeed the Maulers, and that just doesn't work. Fargo seems to be playing best when they're able to slow the ball down, control the 50s, and set up their teammates, as we see exactly that. A fantastic 50 out in front of the net is going to allow this ball to get fed directly back to Vanish. Just textbook there. You can't draw it up better.
I don't know if you saw this earlier, but Azel was having a lot of control on the ball, and he actually pogoed off of the backboard to get another touch.
Really? No, I didn't see that.
Yeah. But nothing came of it right away. But yeah,
Oh,
Ham's up for early shot here. Zodak.
That's everybody committed.
Side backboard able to save that.
Oh man, everybody
hits
committed on
the
that.
side, but yeah.
I don't. Maulers look awkward. They look scared. I don't know. They're really rushing on these balls.
But I think that's a lot of credit goes to Steelhawks for forcing them into those situations.
True.
I think it's a lot more of the Steelhawks forcing them to kind of need to play like that to prevent instant goal happening, and not as much like even there. Comet's just being forced to go as fast as possible to try to make a touch.
That's
not really getting any time.
Ooh, a huge pop just over the net. We'll see if the Maulers can capitalize. They cannot. Ball is going to be left to Vanish as he gets control. Looks for the flip reset, but that is Wesley to cut him off. Wesley now in his own corner, looking to grab the ball. That is all 3 players on the side of the Maulers that challenged that ball. Vanish now, bang into the backboard. Wesley is there, looks to pop it up, goes for the double, but is going to get cleared away by Hams. Over to Vanish. Vanish gets a great touch on the ball. Ball is going to be centered as Azel tries to make a play, and a fantastic 50 by Zodak clears it away. This game feels like it's going to be decided by the 50s, Etro. It really feels like whichever team is able to keep the ball slow on their own half and have their teammates rotate into it will be the team that gets the most opportunities to put shots on net.
Yes. And I mean, Steelhawks, I feel like, have been winning that game 50s so far. So we'll have to see if the Maulers can figure it out. Figure out how to beat these guys on 50s. Zodak with an opportunity here, gets a nice 50. Comet up early, looking for a beat. And Tom's beating Wesley barely. Zodak ready to collect. Bangs it back downfield. Now Vanish has an open ball. Bangs it to the backboard. Comet with a nice read, looking for a double, doesn't quite get it. Hams up with 100 boost.
Flip reset?
Kind of gets it to the side, but Vanish is there to collect. Gets it back middle. Comet with a nice block out, looking for another touch out. Wesley with 100 boost ready, but Vanish is just up. Like I said earlier, the Steelhawks, they're just, they're cutting off any type of play that the Maulers are trying to get as a counterattack.
Yeah, and I keep seeing that they create this sort of play where whoever's in net just has to stop. Like there we saw Vanish with a flip reset pass, and Wesley just had to stop in net, which can completely break up a rotation and cause a double commit. So Fargo really keeping up the pressure with a great shot by Vanish. Oh my gosh, underneath the last defender there. Wesley is not happy about that one. A great double off of Azel. That 50 going his way and directly out net. And yeah, like I was saying, that what we're seeing from the Steelhawks is this pressure that they're creating by keeping the ball in front of the net, or these 50s that they're taking that keep the ball on the Maulers' half. The Maulers are getting caught off in the rotations because of that. And it's just creating opportunity after opportunity for the Steelhawks. We see Azel almost put another one in.
Yeah. the Steelhawks are definitely putting on a masterclass on how to beat any rank in Rocket League right now. It's absolutely it's really something else. It's the 50s and just constantly beating any type of clear, beating the Maulers to any type of clear that they have.
Keeping the ball in smart spaces as well. I feel like when they go for these 50s or these passes, they're not putting the ball into a place where it can be potentially dangerous. Even there, we saw the pass get cut off and Hams was able to rotate back on it. Like, just the Steelhawks' control over the ball is absolutely insane here. As you see Hams take it across the midfield. We have only 30 seconds left in game number 4. The Steelhawks are up by 2. This Mauler squad, we've talked about a couple times now. As I bring it up, Vanish is going to score to make it 3-0. But Maulers, we have seen win games from this position.
Yes, we have. But, you know, I feel like the Steelhawks aren't really going to give that opening much as maybe another team would. So 0-3 game 4 here, and you know, if the Steelhawks hold this lead, that's the series.
It would be. And as we see the ball on the Fargo side, they're going to get a great clear out, and Vanish is going to score. 4-0, 10 seconds left. You know, this game is sure looking over. We saw it 3-0, 22 seconds. That's a very different story, chat. All right, 4-0, 10 seconds, like, it's a little bit more difficult to pull off. If there were a team to do it, it would be the Maulers. It would be this squad here, but I think, unfortunately, the Steelhawks are going to take this series, and this is an absolutely massive win for them. I mean, they're now going to create more space over that number 3 team, and if that number 2 spot does wind up being the spot that decides who makes LAN, it sure seems like the Steelhawks are going to be the ones that take it.
Yeah, the Steelhawks, like I said, they're put on an absolute masterclass that game. And, you know, we have, in first place, we have the Duluth Superiors, though. And that's a team that is absolutely dominating the league right now. But, I mean, I feel like if there's a team that can really shut down the Superiors and, you know, maybe even take the LAN win from the Superiors, that would be the Steelhawks, especially after how they played today.
Yeah, Vanish, unfortunately, last season not quite able to convert and get a LAN win. But this season, I got good feelings about it. He consistently comes in at the top of the league each season. But, wrong scene there, you guys. There you go. You can see our beautiful faces. There we have it. The Fargo Steelhawks taking on the Bloomington Maulers for your highlight match of the night. 3-1. We have got a couple more matches for you guys tonight. Up next, the Drakes are going to take on the Atlas. We're going to throw it to a quick break and get these guys in and try to keep the stream running on time. So we'll be back in just a second here.
For somebody to make memories in a bank forever in time. There's no reason to be hard to find, 'cause we've already lost our mind. You and me, we're gonna write a little history. You and me, just show me love and then you'll see. Memories that we make, they are never gonna fade for a lifetime.
Alright, guys, I know you're not used to this. I'm gonna cut that timer short. I know you guys, everybody in chat was hoping that it would say soon. Unfortunately, it's not gonna say soon. We're just gonna hop into this. Quick Horizon, again. Etro, again. Man, Etro, we've had a wild night of matches so far. Throwing it up on the screen for the people at home. Look, Etro, I just want to hear your thoughts on this match we got up next. Rachel, Atlas, what do you think?
Let's see. So first standings, we have the Atlas in 5th and Derecho in 7th. So they're very close. It's only a 1 game, 1 win, so 5 wins versus 4 wins. And I think it's going to be a good game, but I've been a Ambrosia and Fuego duo fan
Agreed.
ever since they won that the LAN, I think it was 3 seasons ago.
It was. I
and
watched it live with you. I think it was season 5. We were all there.
Yeah,
Fantastic.
yeah, and I've always been a fan of them as a duo. But in this season, I don't think they've had quite as much success as they did in that last one. But I still think Atlas are going to take this one over Derecho. But I mean, Derecho still has the Mogi and Wolf and Water, and I know Mogi has insane mechanics and is able to absolutely pop off and just get past all 3 defenders like nothing at times. So it's really gonna be a toss up in the air, but I think Atlas is gonna take this one 3-1.
Yep. I know at the top of your guys' stream it says the wrong people. I'm getting that started, getting this series rolling a little bit earlier than I normally would have, just due to trying to keep us rolling here tonight. So Etro, if you want to walk us through how this game starts off, I'm gonna get it switched over for the people at home.
Yes, for sure. We have bumps coming out, and Brosia's able to find a really early goal here within the first 30 seconds. Fuego with a nice controlled touch beats one, gets a bump on Mogi, and Brosia had the open net here. It was a great play by Fuego to open things up.
Mogi, this being his rookie season, definitely showing off why he got drafted first overall as a rookie. I mean, just playing super strong. I'm very surprised to not see Wolf here. I didn't see anything in the roster submission that we were going to be missing Wolf. I totally could have missed it, but yeah, I'm very surprised to see that.
Yeah. Something must have come up, which happens.
Which happens.
Everybody has a life outside
Oh!
of hopefully. But as we're saying that,
Oh.
Great pass here, a 50 from Brosia going off the corner of the ceiling, and Fuego's just ready. And also, Ambrosia getting a nice bump on Mogi. Both of these goals coming from a bump so far from the Atlas squad.
Interesting, I learned something here today. It matters which side I put the team names on. It is going to be 2-0 for the Atlas and not for the Derecho, as I'm still working on fixing that. Mogi trying to make it a little bit closer so it wouldn't matter, but gonna get cleared away. And Fishy, great pass to his teammate. Ooh, a huge chance there. Fishy arguably is just a better elephant, if you asked me. That season that we were talking about earlier, where we had that dominant Atlas season with Fuego and Brosia, they were paired up with Elephant, who was kind of a surprise pick up in Premier, a very solid player, but that's who took them to the LAN championship. So I would argue Fishy is literally just a better Elephant.
Yeah, I agree with that. Fishy is definitely a great defensive player. Makes a lot of very clutch saves for the team, but on top of that, still is very good at, controlling the play and buying the time for his teammates at the same time. So, yeah, I agree with you with that wholeheartedly.
I'm looking to figure out how to make shirtless Fuego correct. I know he's rotated 90 degrees. Unfortunately, Stewie isn't here, who is the master of fixing all this stuff, so you're just going to have to enjoy him from that 90-degree angle. But the Atlas coming out swinging here, up by 2 as we approach the halfway point in game number 1. Really like what I'm seeing from these guys. I'm Very curious why the derecho don't have Wolf. This squad seems like a squad, at least on paper, who needs those starting players in order to perform. They made a big change to their original Challenger roster, which when a Premier team is drafting for Challenger, they're looking for the players who they think will be the best subs, and derecho tore up two of those 3 players, I want to say. I know that they lost Lyric. Obvious is still on that team as he was prior. I'm forgetting who their third was, but that might be an issue for the derecho in this match. If they need an emergency sub, it's not the player who they had in mind for draft, and this condensed season means that draft matters more than ever. And here we're seeing the Atlas really taking advantage of the derecho with that sub.
Yes, definitely a lot of control coming up from the Atlas, but I mean, at the same time, it's not as one-sided as I'd say last series was. You know, both Atlas and the derecho are able to find a lot of beats on the ball. So it's definitely still anybody's game. I mean, it's only game 1, and a lot of people say game 1's like kind of the warm-up game or feel-out game where you're kind of just trying to figure out what you need to do to beat the other team, even if you win or lose.
Hey, I mean, that's how I feel.
derecho,
First game doesn't count as far as I'm concerned. The first game on ranked, I'm pretty sure Psyonix just gets rid of the MMR loss from that.
maybe not. But Fuego finding a pass to himself, I think, hits it off up to the corner, and he gets the read, and this a really good shot from him. Very hard to save for Water there.
Huge. Only 45 seconds left. This seems like it's going in favor of the Atlas, but the derecho are definitely still in this. Fishy with the kickoff, going to go by way of the derecho. Water now has some space to work with. Gets the late flip, not quite able to get the dunk. Oh, free for Mogi, but he's off. What a save! And Optimus is the what in the world just happened? What? What just happened here?
Mogi barely missing that off the crossbar, and Avimus shoots that right into both Ambrosia and Fishy, but they're still unable to make the save because it was so dang fast of a shot.
Fishy just scoring it. That was rather unfortunate there. But, you know, there's 1 goal for the derecho. They need 2 more. There's plenty of time. Oh, I thought also.
That was a great save.
I swear,
I really thought that was in. I
swear, the caster curse is never more real, besides when it's you and I. Like,
yeah, for sure. Fuego up for the ball. He has looks for a double touch. Doesn't quite get the power off the first touch as he wanted. Fishy pops up to the backboard. Water clearing it out, but a nice demo from Fishy. Leaves the net open, but Ambrosia didn't take the shot. Maybe a missed touch, maybe a pass opportunity, but still that game goes in the way of Atlas. Definitely a very solid start, and I think you're right with Obvious coming in to play for derecho, that it's kind of probably threw him off a little bit for this first game. But I'm seeing here that Wolf is here and ready to sub back in.
oh, he's back. Okay, all right.
For the next game and the rest of the series.
I super appreciate you giving me that heads up, because I was working on some stream stuff and I didn't notice. So we're going to get that updated. I'm going to wait a second for the next game to start. Super glad. Wolf maybe just running a little bit behind, getting back in here. So derecho now are going to be at full strength, and I'm super curious to see what difference that makes. Did Wolf just have something going on prior that caused him to be late? Regardless of what it was, my big thought is, was he warming up during that time?
But that was Obvious' debut performance for Premier. It was his first Premier
That was
game,
his first
and
Premier?
he was on top. And he was on top of the leaderboard for his.
That's
So
awesome.
definitely a solid performance from him for the first game. But as we get into the second one, now derecho have their full roster. Let's see if they can turn this around and kind of catch the Atlas off guard.
Yeah, only down by 1 game. Definitely plenty of Rocket League to go here, so I'm sure they're not sweating it too much. And this could be a big momentum shift for the derecho, getting back that key player, not just a key player on the team, but the GM for this franchise, excuse me. I mean, Wolf is a the quintessential player for this derecho squad. This is who he built the team around when he was drafting. So to see him come back, that's got to really bolster his two teammates there. So Wolf maybe makes an awkward touch out towards center. Fishy almost slotting it on net. Fuego now keeping the ball in the derecho side. He's looking to just kind of play bang ball, keep the derecho awkward, but Mogi is going to be there. Mogi now looking to pre-jump on this one. He gets a shot, but Fishy reads him. Fantastic read there. Water keeping the ball in the Atlas half. Ambrosia's going to try to clear it out, but Mogi is going to cut it off. Wolf now up in the air, but a great read by Fuego. It's on net! Oh, what a save from Water! Oh my gosh, that ball was all but in. It doesn't matter. Ambrosia's there to clean it up. And, you know, last series, we really talked about that second man rotation, how that was important here. So we saw Fishy end up awkward there, reading it off of Fuego's previous touch, and he still dished up perfectly to Ambrosia. That second player, so key in that goal there.
Two demos coming out for Water. It's kind of open space for Mogi to work, but Fuego makes a great defensive touch. And Ambrosia is able to clear it out here. Fishy with a 1v1 opportunity gets a flick off the crossbar.
Ooh.
Fuego's up off the crossbar again. Ambrosia looking to take some control. Goes to the ceiling with it. Gets a double off the ceiling maybe, but blocked by Mogi. Fishy taking his time in the corner, but Mogi proving a strong player here. Still not allowing anything to come out from the Atlas here.
You know, one of my biggest complaints about having to stream and cast at the same time is that I can't pull up the scoreboard because it blocks everybody else's view. So I'm not able to see exactly what Mogi is doing here, but it sure feels like this is the Mogi Water show for this match for the derecho.
Yeah, Waters has 3 saves already. He's up in at the top of his team. Mogi has 1 save, second place on his team.
And what's Wolf pulling right now? Any shots?
Wolf has 44 points with 1 shot.
Okay. So maybe still find his legs.
It's also notable that Wolf could be hopping on without any warm up here, and he's still trying to get kind of into the mindset and get his mechanics up to speed to be able to play at this level, and that could be definitely playing a factor.
I believe he had a CRL match before this. I want to say, let's see. So St. Cloud played Des Moines prior to this matchup here. I don't see the score here, so I'm not sure how that ended up, but Wolf must have had another match that popped up in between that he was late for. So, yeah, very interested seeing him come back. If anybody in chat has the score to that St. Cloud game, that would be awesome to see. But now we're going to see the derecho
again.
Yeah, here he
Mogi
goes.
again, looking for a solo play, and it's in. What's it? Mogi, playing in 6-mans before he was even drafted into the league. Whenever I'd play against him, he's just so consistent. At any time he brought the ball in the air, he was putting up something extremely threatening, and you had to block it or it was in. And even there, in that example, they were there to block it, but Mogi still 50'd it through and was able to find the net.
Huge goal there. Going to tie it right back up. And with 1.5 minutes to go, derecho are back in a spot to possibly score. Ambrosia going to shut that down, though. Taking the ball towards mid. He gets it past the last defender. Oh! Almost gets not a musty, just a 180 shot there. Looking to slow the ball down. Fuego, great 50. Down to Fishy. We have 2 up by way of the Atlas. It's going to be free for Fuego to shoot. Mogi's up. So is Wolf. So is Water. Ambrosia putting it back on net. That is Mogi just keeps on eating these ones up. Fishy gonna shoot it. Mogi's gonna be there, and it's finally gonna get cleared out for the derecho. Huge opportunities there for the Atlas, but Mogi just unstoppable on the side of the derecho. Oh no!
Oh my, the fake. The fake is insane there. That was a great play from Fishy to find the net here.
That was so
Ambrosia with the fake, actually. Ambrosia with the fake, my bad.
I also thought it was Ambrosia put it in.
But can I just say that derecho have 10 saves already in this? 10 saves. So they're really holding on to try to block these Atlas shots that keep coming through. But I mean, it's not quite enough as Atlas found that goal there.
You got to stop them prior to that shot. You got to be stopping them at the midfield. You can't be just constantly cutting the Atlas off in front of your own net, because like this, Fuego with a great read slows the ball down out in front, gets a flip reset, and looks to keep pressure on. And the Atlas have not lost control in the Derecho's half since this kickoff. As we approach the last
Mogi.
30 seconds, Mogi feels like the guy to keep an eye on for the Derecho. It feels like he's going to be the player that'll bring them back into this.
Broja with a hit off the backboard. Fuego's up for it. Blocked away from Wolf, and Wolf has some control. Broja cuts that off. Water looking to make a controlled touch, but Fuego's there. Fuego looking to maybe get this one mid. Pops it really high, and Mogi's up. Looking for a sidewall double. Gets it downfield. Gets a pop over one. Wolf's up. The shot's barely off. 2 seconds left. They need a response right now, or game's going towards the Atlas. Wolf with a nice save. Water keeping it popped up. Mogi looking for some control. They need to keep the ball up as it is 0 seconds.
Massive touches.
Mogi hits it downfield, but Fuego tries to hit it down.
And Bruce has
Water
nothing.
keeps it up. Oh my gosh. I thought it was down for sure right away there.
Me too.
Definitely a valiant attempt from Derecho, but, you know, Atlas proven that, you know, they got what it takes to beat this Derecho squad.
Yeah, they are them. I mean, if anybody's asking, that was massive. Mogi did everything in his power to keep his team in it for that game, and it's just not enough. This Fishy Fuego Ambrosia combo is disgusting.
So Atlas had 22 shots on net in that game, and Derecho made 12
22
saves.
shots on who?
22 shots and 12 saves to respond to those
that
shots.
has to be a record without an overtime. I have to assume that probably breaks a league record without there being an overtime. Oh my gosh. And
that was definitely a pretty crazy game. Lots of attack from Atlas, but Derecho trying what they can.
Yeah, what are you looking for out of the Derecho in this next game here? They have to climb back. They have to do the reverse sweep. What are you looking for out of them?
So what I've noticed is I think a lot of times they're getting caught on their defensive line, like on the goal line.
Mm-hmm.
And what they need to do is they need to find a nice touch that really creates a counterattack for them to get out of their own half. Similar to the last series where Steelhawks were keeping the Maulers stuck on their defense. Kind of almost the same thing happening here where Atlas is just kind of keeping the Derecho stuck on their defense. And any time that the Derecho get a clear, the Atlas is just there first and able to keep it back on their half. So it's just really about starting that counterattack. And Mogi, out of all players, is almost going in there. That was an insane play by Wolf to jump up for that ball, and unfortunately doesn't get the double in. But yeah, I think it's very much going to be they need to create the counterattacks from their defense. Really make something happen. And as I say that, a nice pass from Water mid. Mogi hits it to the backboard for the double touch. No one on the backboard. He just kind of gets that free double touch and finds the exact spot on the net that he needs.
That was massive. Sorry for you guys at home. I accidentally clipped a wrong key, so you guys saw numbers instead of names there. But Mogi, I'm sure that's a card you're going to learn to recognize as he is all over the field and just shutting down the Atlas. A huge double tap there. He's left wide open on the backboard, which is a big mistake. Now, as we're going to get the next 4 minutes underway, there's still a lot of game to be played here. We're going to see Fuego dropping back. Here's a huge opportunity for the Derecho. Oh, actually kept in by Fishy. Great touch there. Broja also keeping it in. 50 past Water. Looks to get it past Founder Defender, but Mogi is there. Fuego's there with a shot! Absolutely massive. There was nothing Wolf could do on that play. Oh my gosh.
Can I say, I think Broja just 50'd it past all three of them. I think he literally got a 50 on the sidewall, past one, and then past another, and then on the backboard, past the third. To leave the goal open for Fuego. Well, not fully open.
Not
I mean,
fully,
they recovered, but
Mogi was still there.
Yeah, but I mean, great shot from Fuego. Finding that open spot.
Tied back up 1-1. We're going to see Wolf trying to get control in front of his own net. Broja is going to be there to cut that plate off. Ooh, a great shot there, cleared away by Mogi. Ambrosia keeping up the aggression on the Derecho side. Mogi now looks for the flip reset. He gets the shot. Fishy is there. He can't quite get the double off of Fishy. Fishy beating Water as well. That's 2 players beat. Fuego now, this could be potentially awkward. I believe Water is the last player left back for the Derecho. It's going to cut the ball off. Absolutely huge there. Now Mogi for the Derecho goes up to the ceiling, saves his flip, pops it past the defender. Ambrosia going up hard on this ball. Water looking to try to cut him off. Not quite able to. Fishy trying to get the pass over to Fuego. Fuego is there. The shot is on, but Mogi is going to cut him off again. Mogi is absolutely huge on this goal line for the Derecho. He is shutting off the Atlas all over the field, but he's especially doing it on the goal line, which is really where it matters.
Very true. Mogi again getting a nice 50. Fuego there off the sidewall. Gets a flip mid. Fake from Fishy. I don't know if that was intentional. Roja with a nice butt touch to the air. Goes up for it again. Pops it high. Kind of over Fuego's head. And Wolf finds the beat over Fishy, and that's the open net. Kind of 2 missed touches, or a missed touch from Ambrosia that leaves the opportunity for Wolf to find this net.
There we go. Derecho finally leading in this series. They're going to be up 2-1, but with over 2 minutes to go, this game is far from over. The Atlas are going to look to strike, and they're going to look to strike quick, which is potentially a scary thing for the Derecho when the Atlas focus up and get serious. Ambrosia just off on that shot. The ex-Northwoods player really trying to connect on that one. I believe a couple of his old teammates are playing right now in the CRL championships going on, which shout out to you guys for being here and watching this while that other big stream goes on. We've got a lot of big players in this league that compete across multiple leagues. So huge shout out to you guys for coming and supporting us during that big stream. Now we're going to see the Atlas try again to get some pressure going. Water's going to cut this ball off at the midfield. Tries to get a pinch pass, but not quite able to. Wolf trying to do the same thing. That time he's able to get a pass to the defender, but Mogi is not quite there. Free shot for Fuego. Oh, what a read from Water to cut that off. Huge flying free ball gets cut off by Water. Massive read, and we're going to see the Derecho try to get some pressure going the other way now.
Mogi with a pop up. Wolf looking for a bump, but Fishy's already in the air. Blocks it off. Water with a touch around to the defender and looks for a 50. Mogi on the sidewall. Roja clearing downfield. Fuego up for the redirect. Water cutting it off. Roja's there. Wolf with a nice defensive touch. Fishy with a shot just wide. Mogi's there anyways. But, you know, the Atlas keeps this ball in. Definitely a lot of pressure on the Rachel's half.
100%. I really like what I'm seeing out of Water. His ability to read the ball in the air has been absolutely huge. He almost got a cutoff during that previous play that could have led to the Derecho potentially turning into a goal. But the demo, another demo, it's going to leave it open. Oh, Wolf is going to be there. I didn't even get to see it through the smoke screen. It's going to get penalized. It doesn't matter what the Derecho are doing. The Atlas are all over them. What happened here, Etro? I saw the smoke screen, and then was there just an awkward 50, or the ball just happened to bounce out?
Yeah, so Wolf made the clear above the backboard, and I think it was Fuego that just scored that. He just kind of read it and got a really nice angle shot before the Derecho can react and get in the air. It was a moment where they had to pre-jump or be on the backboard to really save anything, but after just making a save, obviously nobody was there. And
oh no!
Oh my goodness! 16 seconds left, and the Atlas find the comeback with Ambrosia making a very clutch demo on the backline here.
Yeah.
16 seconds, 2 goals, and that's enough for Atlas to in the lead with a second left.
Wolf just kind of got caught up on that play. He wasn't able to rotate into the ball because there was another defender there, and Atlas are going to put it down. They take the first sweep of the night. I definitely would not have had this game going as a sweep, but
yeah,
seeing what I saw, I think the Atlas are going to get more sweeps this season. That was a huge win for them.
Yeah, the Derecho just couldn't quite figure out how to that lead there. Fell apart in the last 16 seconds. The pressure seemed to have gotten to them.
Yeah, just a little unfortunate for them. Taking a look at that final game score, 2-3 by way of the Atlas. Atlas just ripping shots on net. Fishy and Fuego really feeling out each other, and Ambrosia is there to support as well. which was just absolutely massive. So, yeah,
Definitely a very pressure-heavy team, and then, they proved that works really well,
it sure did.
especially against players that can't really, or like they weren't able to find many opportunities to control the ball well enough to prevent the pressure from.
Yeah, unfortunately, it kind of felt like too little too late. I wonder if Wolf had been there for the first game, if he would have been a little bit more warm. I'm definitely not placing that loss on his shoulders. It just a very solid show up from the Atlas. But yeah, I mean, the Atlas just really came out swinging, and unfortunately for the derecho, it was just too much for them. Do you think it would have made a difference having Wolf at the start there, or no?
I don't know. I still feel like the full series score would have gone towards Atlas. I mean, that was my prediction, and I'm a fan of that duo,
Mm-hmm.
and they really show that, like, when they're firing on all cylinders, it's really hard to stop them. And even with, can I just say, Mogi was making absolutely insane plays to create counterattacks, bringing it downfield himself and trying to do whatever he can to create offensive pressure on the Atlas side. But it just wasn't quite enough because, Atlas was able to break up his plays enough to avoid being scored on from them.
Yeah.
And Mogi trying anything he can on the defense as well, making a lot of clutch saves, and it just wasn't quite enough for the team to figure out how to stop the Atlas.
Agreed. But we've got one more match for you guys. We've had back-to-back-to-back banger games here. This is absolutely top tier Rocket League, which what else can you expect from MCS's premier level? We got a beautiful Saturday evening for you guys. We will be right back in just a bit with our final series of the night. All right, everybody. It's going to be just me, Quick Horizon, casting this last match. Etro unfortunately had to split, so he will not be here for this next one. Turn this music up a little bit. Man, we've had an absolute banger of a night as far as premier matches go. Just going to run it through real quick for you guys. Lumberjacks reverse sweeping the Rhythm. Steelhawks taking a quick 2-0 lead. Maulers crawling back one, but the Steelhawks shutting them down. Last series, we saw the Atlas sweep the Derecho. Unfortunately, the Derecho had a sub for that game, number 1, but didn't matter that they had their full squad for the ones after. Unfortunately, that Atlas squad is just a little bit too strong. Up next for you guys, we're going to have a huge match. Victory taking on the Jungle. Now, the Chicago Jungle, I believe, has their new full roster here. Throwing it up on screen for you. That was the wrong thing. Remzik end and making his MCS return. We have got Jives. Super excited to see Jives back in the league. I think that this is a deadly league, or a deadly team. Excuse me. We talked about the Chicago team during the last overtime. Forrest was talking about how Remzik is looking super strong here. So this team could potentially be deadly. But on the other side, we have got Kai, AO Stein, and Zebra. This team, AO just being a sub currently, they do have an open slot on their premier team, but they will be filling that soon. Whether that's with AO Stein or somebody else is still up in the air. But regardless, there will be either this premier team or a new premier team filling in the slot for them. So, absolutely huge. We've got a very good match coming up for you guys as I'm waiting for players to get into the lobby. But Twitch chat, hope you guys have been enjoying this night so far. Let me know your guys' predictions in the chat. I'm not able to throw up a prediction myself. I apologize. But let me know. Victory, Jungle, who takes this next one here? Personally, my thoughts are, having seen this week, the Jungle were able to take down the Superiors, not with this new squad, but with a sub. They took down the Superiors with Stratus, and that is the only loss the Superiors have had this season so far. So that's pretty big. I'm really curious how that's going to translate now heading into versus the Victory, another team that's had a pretty consistent roster. Obviously, Stewie got dropped with the sub up from AO Stein, but AO is somebody, he's a 2-time champion in Premier. He clearly is somebody who belongs in Premier. I'm very curious to see how he is going to perform here. Just waiting on the Chicago Jungle to join the lobby, and we'll get started pretty quick. This is the last match that we've got for you guys before we head into Thanksgiving break. Next week is going to be an off week for these teams to take a quick second, relax a little bit before we head into the final weeks of the season. So week 8 is a break week. Thanksgiving is off. The week after, that is next week, the week next week, if that's how you want to look at it. We've got our last week of league play, and then we head right into the major the week after. We're gonna have 2 weeks. The first round will be a Swiss round for Premier and Challenger, and then the second week will be a single or double ELM tournament, for the major. And then I believe that for Premier, let me pull it up real quick here. Premier will be groups into single elim. Challenger and Rising Star are going to be Swiss rounds. The top 2 teams out of the regular season will auto-qual for each division. So we are locked in with that decision. We will see the top 2 teams from each bracket auto-qual into LAN. So pretty big there. 3 through 8 for Premier will compete in a double elim play-ins. 3rd through 8th or 3rd through 10, we haven't totally decided yet, for Challenger and Rising Star will compete in a double elim for play-ins as well. So it's not over for any of these teams yet. It's going to be incredibly tight all the way down to the wire. Only 1st and 2nd place are going to auto-qual, which taking a look at Premier, obviously Fargo and Bloomington are tied as of now, but I believe that's because the win hasn't been reported for the Fargo Steelhawks yet. So that'll solidify them in that second place slot. But Duluth is definitely solidly ahead of them. Even if they lose the next two, and if Bloomington wins the next two, I think Duluth have. Oh no, I'm talking out my butt right now because of the major points. Duluth have not auto-qualled a spot yet. So they're going to have to fight through the major in order to make sure that they are able to lock in that slot. But, excuse me guys, while I'm taking a look real quick here. Seeing, are we just ahead schedule? No, we're right on schedule. Just waiting for the Chicago Jungle to come back. It's been back-to-back-to-back hype games, and I expect nothing less from this final series. I'm really looking forward to this one. Big announcements coming up. I'm going to plug this really quick for you guys. We're running a special right now on jerseys and land tickets. Land tickets just went on sale the other day. We have a venue locked in. Dates are locked in. Big announcements coming up next week. We're just waiting on a couple of confirmations real quick. Regardless of that, land tickets are on sale. We have a bundle going on right now for jerseys and for land tickets. You can buy your land ticket and your jersey at a 20% discount. These jerseys coming from a new manufacturer, that being Equipped Studios, and they are absolutely fantastic. These guys have been great to work with. The quality of their jerseys are better than anything that we've seen in the MCS before, and I'm super excited to be working with them. But yeah, right now we have a bundle going on. It ends tomorrow night at midnight, so make sure that you get those ordered. Yeah, super excited to see you guys at LAN. Hoping to do some casting, hoping to get some photos. Should be a good time. Last LAN was absolutely fantastic, hosted by SCSU. Super cool to get to see everybody. But, you know, right now, talking to myself in my living room, waiting for some players to join some Rocket League. Twitch chat, let me know how you guys are doing. I hope tonight's been a pretty good stream for you guys. Sorry that Stewie isn't here, but Captuna Cat, you're thinking victory all the way on this one. You know, I think normally I'd agree with you. I'm really curious what this new jungle squad is going to look like. They were able to take down Duluth with a sub. So with them having Jives in place of Stratus, personally, I think that's a stronger player, and I would expect them to perform a little bit better. Oh man, looking at players joining the lobby right now, Stratus is in here. I see End, I see Stratus. My only question is who's the third player? Is it going to be Remzik or is it going to be Jives? I would, if they're missing Remzik tonight, that could potentially be a rough series for them. Remzik has been quintessential to this squad. Last season we saw Remzik and Vogs come in to take over for Mexi's team, that was the Brainerd Victory, and they made a run for LAN. They almost got to qualify. They played very strong. Unfortunately, I believe they were shut down by the Burnsville Inferno at the end of last season during play-ins. Burnsville shut down a couple teams, same with the Atlas. So this could potentially be a blowout here for the Victory if the jungle aren't able to field the squad that they were hoping to field. I mean, Stratus is obviously a player who has the potential to be in Premier. My big question is does he is it the right teammates for that squad or not? Is it what do we got going on? I gotta ping the Chicago Jungle here. We are now past the 10-minute mark. We may be looking at a game 1 forfeit. So I'm gonna shoot a message out here. Hopefully not. Hopefully we can get either Remzik or Jives in here quick and we can get this underway. But if they're not here within the next minute, unfortunately they will be looking at a game 1 forfeit, which is not where the jungle are gonna want to be positioned for this first match. But yeah, I mean, we've had some great Rocket League already tonight. You know, I got a question for you guys in Twitch chat because I was taking a look trying to figure out when the next major is going to be for RLCS, and I have not found anything for the upcoming winter major, which is kind of odd. I found some articles from Rocket League talking about that they were doing something different for this off season, and they were doing some tournaments and stuff. I know, Shift RL, is that what the news agency on Twitter is that reports on Twitter? They were talking about that there is a tournament this weekend, I want to say. Gamers something. If you guys in Twitch chat know more about that, but I've really been kind of looking forward to seeing Pro Rocket League return, and usually we get at the start of December for the winter major, but it doesn't seem like we're gonna get a major at the start of winter. So I don't know. I kind of feel like I'm missing out. I'm really excited to see these teams that are coming up. Shopify Rebellion picking up Justin, which is pretty big. Shopify Rebellion also picked up version 1's final standing pro team, which was their female Valorant team. So they picked up that whole team, who's been performing very, very well in Valorant. But yeah, I believe that version 1 is out of teams, and they will be doing a merger, whether that's with Shopify or not. I don't believe that Beast Mode and Daniel we've had official movement on yet. Again, if anybody in Twitch chat knows more about that stuff than I do, I just haven't seen anything personally. Kai, AO, Zebra, and Stratus. Yeah. And Stratus Conundrum. Unfortunately, you guys, I believe that we've got a game 1 forfeit. I'm working through that right now. I would really rather not end the night on that, but I have not seen Conundrum Effect join the lobby. Sending this We ready? Okay. Well, let's take a look. Maybe getting this game underway here. Again, apologies for the delay on this match. I see them joining. Waiting to see if... Your teammate gone, what do you mean? Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Aostein. Yeah, if Conundrum joined the lobby and I missed it, let me know if anybody in chat knows. Otherwise, it's going to be a game 1 forfeit for the Chicago Jungle. They do have 6 more minutes to get that second player in. Yeah, no. That's... yeah. I see Conundrum joining now. Unfortunately, we have declared a game 1 forfeit for the Jungle. I did not see him join the lobby prior to that. So, yeah, unfortunate for the Chicago Jungle. But it looks like we've got everybody in now. Okay, there we go. Hopefully you guys can see that. There we go. We are going to get this game number 1 underway. Number 2, actually, excuse me. Misspoke there. But Chicago now already starting at a deficit. Unfortunate for them. We will see them take control of the ball at midfield. Conundrum Effect, I believe, subbing up for this team. Pretty big for him. He is a player who is a previous Challenger champion. Definitely looking to see what he can do for this roster to help them stand out. But coming in here, we'll see End bang this ball down. Zebra is going to be able to cut it off for the victory. Kai getting a great touch on the ball, centering it. Almost there for Zebra. Conundrum Effect there, able to clear it off to the side. Stratus now popping it up. Kai is going to be there, but banged away by Conundrum down to the side of the Victory. Aostein now looking to make a play on this ball in his own corner. Gets it past End. A great touch there as Zebra tries to make a play on it. Kai now left. A shot. There's no defenders, and it's on. Victory going to strike quick. Going up immediately here in game number 2 for the Victory. Absolutely massive there. Yeah, absolutely love what I'm seeing out of this Victory squad. They're looking very strong. Stream is going to pause for you guys for a quick second at home as I am updating. We've got 2. We got Conundrum effect. Conundrum. That's a word I can spell. Effect. And we have got Stratus. 2 subs on the side of the jungle. Very surprising. You know, I wasn't feeling super great about them having 1 sub, but them having 2 subs makes me even less confident. But they're 2 very strong players. So to say that they're out of it would be just dead wrong, as they're still a very strong team. Aostein trying to make a play on the ball. Almost gets it, but Zebra with the shot on gets cleared away by Conundrum. Great defensive work there. He's going to keep the ball free. Now the Victory trying to mount another offensive pressure. A huge bump by Kai. It's just off from Aostein. Oh my gosh, a huge opportunity there. Now End is going to get a free shot on net, but just off. AO with the clear. Zebra now tipping it up to his teammate. Stratus can be able to cut this ball off, putting it off to the side. Huge demo leaves the net open. End is going to score, and now we are back to a 1-1 ball game. Just as quick as they got ahead, they're back down. And now I know you guys can't see it because I haven't updated yet. Stratus is mashing some cereal on stream right now. He is absolutely annihilating this bowl of cereal, and I can only imagine what he's going to do to the ball once he gets a hold of it. But Chicago tying that one up. That was absolutely huge. Taking a look here. Oh, there's another goal coming out for the jungle. End scoring another one. That is going to be 2 for End. They're not going to be ahead. Excuse me, guys, while I pull up this screen real quick so I can see how these guys have their names spelt, because otherwise it doesn't link up their cameras right. Looks like we are all set. Fantastic. Thank you guys for dealing with the hiccups that we have tonight. The great Stewie, of course, isn't here because he was playing in his premier matches. But nevertheless, it doesn't change how good the Rocket League on the field is. We're going to see Zebra in the offensive end try to get it down to Aostein, but not quite able to. He's going to get another pinch, but End is there to cut this play off. Putting the ball out towards midfield. It's going to be free for Kai. Kai now with the potential free double. I would like to see him go for a pass here. Great pass! Oh, Aostein just off. Huge opportunity there for the Victory to tie them up, but unfortunately not quite able to. Ball now getting 50 out at the midfield, going to the Victory side. This might be a free shot. Nope, Kai is going to be there. Great read by AO to leave that to his teammate. Ball bouncing up. AO is going to be on this one. Ball is going to get bounced down. Aostein still looking to make a move on this. Ball now cleared back out again to the side of the Victory. The Victory not quite able to keep it on their own end. Zebra with the touch. It's not enough. Conundrum is going to put that one on net. And now the Chicago with a commanding lead here, up by 2. That is a huge buffer for them and potentially deadly for the Victory. Just absolutely massive. But this next kickoff, huge. Under 2 minutes. We are under halfway in this game. It's going to go by way of the Victory. Zebra not able to keep it in. And End left with another free ball. A great bump by Kai. Clears him off, though. Ball banged down back to the jungle's half. Zebra looking for the demo. He doesn't even have to get the demo. Aostein is there. He's going to score it and put them back to only a 1-goal lead. There it is. There's the cereal I'm talking about. Stratus mashing some cereal here on stream. But unfortunately, the Victory going to score, and Victory up by 1 already. This being the first game that they've played. Zebra, I see you there. We'll definitely get a new server going after this match. Not a problem for you, bud. But yeah, Victory now 2-3. They are behind and going to have to make a move. I have not seen anything from this team that particularly stands out to me that they'll be able to pull this off. They've been playing pretty solid, but the jungle are just looking better. The shots that they've had, the passes that they have had, they've just kind of been better all around the field. So Victory gonna have to figure it out, because this could potentially be a huge momentum shift for them. banged back down into the victory side. Stratus looks to get a piece, but it's going to be cleared away by Zebra. AO now trying to get the ball center. Conundrum cutting it off, popping the ball out towards mid, and shoving it on net. Zebra last back has to make a play on it, and trying to cut him off, not quite able to get there. Stratus making a play. That's 2 players in the air for the jungle, but the Victor are not able to capitalize. Kai keeping the ball at midfield and is going to have a free clear here. We'll see Stratus go up on this ball trying to read AO, but AO gets a great touch. Conundrum keeping the ball center. A nice high ball. Cleared again away by Kai. Now AO Stein trying to make a play on this ball. 50'd away by a defender across the field. Zebra left with the pass. Going to get cut off by Stratus. That third man not committing very hard here, which makes sense. You don't want to see your third man overcommit, but we need to see that second man either making a play on the ball or getting a pass out to that third man, trying to create some space, trying to create some openings where the third man can actually cook. And Chicago are going to take game number 2. That's going to tie up this series, and we are going to get a new lobby for these boys here because it was requested. So up on your screen right now, you should see the previous score for that match. Take a good long look at it because I think it disappears after I get this next lobby up. But game number 2, going by way of the jungle. Technically, that's the first match you guys saw on stream, but unfortunately, game number 1 was a forfeit from Chicago because they did not have a full team fielded by the 10-minute mark. If you don't have a full team by the 10-minute mark, it's a game 1 forfeit. If you don't have a full team by the 20-minute mark, it is a series forfeit. So, sending the players the lobby info now. Hopefully going to be getting these guys in here pretty quick. Letting them know that they're good to go. Join when in so we can get this game going for you fine folks at home. So, last week of, well, I guess not last week, but second to last week of regular season. We have a break next week, and then after that we hit the major, we hit the postseason, and that's where stuff gets really exciting. Huge announcements coming up soon about LAN, about the venue. We got jerseys on sale right now. If you don't order a jersey by midnight tomorrow night, you lose your chance to order a jersey for this season. So highly recommend hopping onto that MNCS, sorry, well, it says MNCS on the URL link. That MCS Ticket Spice link for your LAN tickets. Ordering your jersey at the same time that you order your LAN ticket. Just a fantastic idea. We'll have all the jerseys there at LAN for all the players. Otherwise, we'll do a meetup for everybody and get those jerseys handed out. But getting game number 3 underway, we're going to see Victory strike first. Bouncing ball off the backboard left to Kai. Zebra bouncing it off. AO faking it straight to Kai, and End is just caught a little awkward. If he hadn't boosted in net there, probably would have been in position to get that ball off to the side. But unfortunately for him, just a little too awkward. So Twitch chat, where do we get tickets? Hop into, do we have this command? Let me take a look here and see if this command is up for you guys. I'm not sure. Tickets. Nope, not up yet. Let me get that link posted. Oh, jeez. Unfortunately missed that goal there, but a fantastic rip. Oh, from his own side. Zebra probably gonna get the sniper medal for that one. 2-0 now, not even a minute passed in game number 3 here. This is a huge game because whichever team takes this is now pressuring match point, which, I mean, from what we've seen, we've only had one team come back tonight from a losing record. So maybe not the best place to be, especially with us being so far in the season. It's less likely that teams would come back due to chemistry issues because the other team is just getting more and more solid as they play. There's that link for you guys in chat. Definitely take a look at it. There's a jersey link and there's a ticket only link. Ticket LAN is currently locked in, I believe, for January 13th and 14th, whatever the original date was when you guys signed up, which is crazy. 3-0 for the victory. Oh my gosh. Man, pulling up the standings here real quick just so I can see where they're sitting at. Looking like we have the the 8th place in the Chicago Jungle and the 9th place in the Brainerd Victory teams playing right now. Both teams have 8 games played, so something to keep in mind for the season is that because it was a doubleheader for Challenger and for Rising Star, Premier only having 12 teams didn't have back-to-back-to-back headers every week like the other leagues did. So some of these teams only played 1 match in a week where other teams played 2. But both of these 2 teams they're watching have played 8 matches apiece, which means that they'll play the same amount of matches for their final week when we return after Thanksgiving break. So whichever team takes this is essentially for major seeding at this point. We have nobody getting decided. Oh, a great shot from Kai, just off. Oh, great save there coming out from the jungle, but no team will be decided from the regular season. We only have teams getting decided following the major with points, and then we will have play-ins immediately following the major, where 4 teams, I want to say, from each league will qualify. We may have some more Premier teams qualify. I believe that's all being worked on. Not having Prospect this season has kind of opened it up, as we see End trying to feed it to Conundrum Effect, almost gets it on. Back to the game, though. I mean, Victory up by 3. This is definitely their game to lose. Love what I'm seeing coming out from the boys. Kai is looking really solid. Zebra shutting me up and slotting one in. He has got 4 shots and 3 goals off of those shots. 75% shooting percentage is absolutely crazy. The Dominus main coming on out here. Love to see a Dominus on the field in a meta that feels to be dominated by Phoenix and Octane. Stratus and Zebra both breaking out the Dominus tonight. Definitely fun to see. And now trying to feed it to Conundrum Effect. He goes up, but he's too slow on that ball. Kai is going to get it cleared to the side. A great bang over to Zebra is going to leave him with a free ball in the opposing corner. Tries to get it on net, but just off and cutting that shot off. Aostein now putting it just off with the double. Oh, a great save by Stratus is going to clear that ball away. Huge opportunity for the Victory to go up by 5. Zebra has got 3 of the goals. Kai has got 1 of the goals. This has been a commanding game number 3 for the Victory. Jungler are going to have to figure out what they're doing wrong heading into game number 4 and probably facing match point. I'd be very surprised to see them come back. And as I say that, Caster cursed, you're welcome, Jungle. It's going to get a free dish over to End. An awkward touch by Aostein. Zebra not quite able to be there for that pass. It's going to get bounced from Conundrum up to End. Free shot for the Jungle. They only need 3 goals. Minute 15 left. We talked about it last series for the Bloomington Maulers, that they're a team that is very able to come back to 3-goal deficit with a minute to go is no problem for them. This Jungle squad, I'm not quite sure if they have those same chops. Definitely going to need to see it here. We're going to see Aostein going up. He's going to get multiple touches on this ball at midfield. Loses it to the Jungle. Kai with the shot. It's going to get cut off by End. Fantastic. Ooh, excuse me, guys. Fantastic read by End there. Cleared away off the backboard. And now trying to get something going at the midfield. Shut down by Kai. Conundrum Effect trying to cut off Aostein, but losing the ball. That's going to be a double commit from the Victory. 2 players beat by Stratus there. Huge touch up is going to be lost. Kai now with the ball in the Jungle's half. Aostein not quite fast enough to make the shot, but that doesn't matter at this point. They don't need more goals. They just need to shut him down. Zebra putting 1 on net. He's just padding his stats at this point, or hurting his shooting percentage, however you want to look at it. Oh, what? Just a free bouncing ball. Oh, what happened here? Zebra bouncing it over Stratus. Oh, Aostein with an awkward 50. That pinch going by way of the Jungle. They're going to be within 2 now with 17 seconds to go. This is a very solid spot to be, because as long as one of these 2 goals is immediately off the kickoff, then they're still in it. So this first goal not immediately being off the kickoff isn't the end of it for the Jungle, especially with that awkward touch of Conundrum. A fantastic save off that shot from Kai. Aostein trying to get on it, but Zebra is going to be there. Kai now just going to shut him down. There we go. Now it's too little too late. 1 second left. Stratus again going for the flip reset, and not quite there. Conundrum trying to put it on net. Zebra shutting him down. Now the Chicago Jungle facing down match point. Man, the Victory are looking really strong. I love what I'm seeing from Zebra here. No saves, no demos coming out from the side of the victory. Oh, well, one save coming out from Aostein, but Zebra himself, 3 goals, 5 shots. That's all it took for them to win that match. So definitely looking for something different from the Chicago Jungle. You know, what I'm really seeing from is that the Jungle aren't necessarily doing stuff wrong. It's all the stuff that the Victory are doing right. The Victory are shutting them down all over the place. They're absolutely all over the field. Sorry, reminding the guys that this is match point due to that game 1 forfeit by the Jungle. So looking to get, this is potentially a match point for the Jungle. And this season, not having any game points awarded to teams has been a huge change. Last season, it was a very different competition. Teams that were able to, specifically the Bemidji Lumberjacks, a team who didn't perform very well during the regular season, but that won a major and performed well in the second major, those teams don't have the same opportunity to perform as well this season as they did last season. Those game 5s, just because last season Bemidji, took all those game 5s, this season that isn't going to be enough for them to hang in. Even if they win this major that's coming up, it won't be enough points for them to auto-secure getting into LAN, and that's the big thing that a lot of these teams are looking at. So getting underway in game number 40. Oh, Stratus! What in the world are you doing up there? Huge touch. Great 50 by Kai, allows N to dish it up to Stratus. And what a nasty touch from the sidewall there. Big smiles all around from all the players because that was just nasty. I mean, fantastic shot by Stratus. Going in for some more cereal there, staying warm. But Zebra now with a free net. No, the pre-flip, he's just off. Aostein puts it up and over the net. Kai now with an opportunity, double touches it. Ao looking to stuff the goalie. Ooh, that touch up by Kai, not quite enough for Zebra to get. And now an odd man rush for the Jungle, shut down by Zebra. Kai looking to put this one on net. He's going to bang it downfield. Kai again, 50'd away by Stratus. Stratus, oh my gosh. You gotta be kidding me that this player continues to go challenger. Somebody's got to give him a shot in Premier. He clearly deserves it. He's playing on a team right now with 2 challenger players, Conundrum and Stratus on that team, both challenger players who are just playing absolutely out of their mind. They're playing so solid, keeping their team in this series right now and keeping the series alive for them. Facing match point, Kai now on his own backboard. Great read off Stratus' touch. Ooh, a miss there from End. Could potentially be awkward, but no, it's left to Stratus. Ao now looking to pick this ball up. He's going to try to 50 Conundrum at midfield. 50 going by way of the victory. And now with the great double on the sidewall, looks to solo play this in. A pass over. Stratus is not there. Double commit from the victory. Doesn't stop Kai from going up. He puts it on net. Stratus is there. Stratus with the double touch. Huge double touch from Stratus. It's just unfortunate it was on his own net. Oh my gosh. Great shot from Kai there. Great speed by him. Ao and Zebra double committing on that previous ball that was in the air. Did not slow Kai down at all. He did not care that both of his teammates were already up on that ball. He followed it up with great speed and potentially went for another shot, which, hey, it worked out for him. Conundrum left on the free ball. Jungle are going to strike again. What even happened here? Awkward rotations. Aostein trying to get back third man. Zebra missing that ball, and Kai with an awkward rotation out of front of net. That would be why he threw his head back there. Just caught off, unfortunately, trying to play fast and shut down the Jungle. Now, something I'm really looking for the victory to do here is what we saw Fargo do in that last series. Fargo was really good about controlling the 50s, controlling the ball, and obviously not every team can perform that way. I believe that we've got a really special case in this Fargo team and the Duluth team that we have, but Fargo being so strong, taking comfortable 50s no matter where the ball is on their own field, especially on their own half, and dishing that ball to their teammates was a huge benefactor to them beating the Maulers there. Ooh, as Ao gets an awkward touch saved away by End. Ball still on the Jungle side, but yeah, really looking for the victory to do exactly that. Try to play the slow game here. Get control of the ball, dish it to your teammates, and create space with 50s and passes, not with demos and bangs. So, under halfway to go here. Jungle potentially facing down match point, but not playing like they are. Love to see that as AO gets a great 50. Zebra with a shot on net, bouncing shot, unsavable. You know it, guys. What are you supposed to do about that? As soon as that ball bounced on the floor, it was just in the net. Awkward challenge from Stratus. Looks like he accidentally dished it out to Zebra there. But the assist going to AO Stein. Now tied up back 2-2. Under 2 minutes to go. This is potentially not looking great for the jungle. If they hadn't had that game 1 forfeit due to missing players, this would have been very different. But unfortunately, they did have to take an immediate loss, and it's gonna punish them. AO Stein, what in the world was this touch? Kai going up on the ball, a great pass down. He gets a fantastic beat on end. Oh my gosh, can't draw it up any better. Get this guy out of Challenger. Just disgusting that he's playing down there. 3-2 now for the victory. Match point, a very real thing. Jungle definitely felt more comfortable at the start of the match, and the victory did not allow them to feel that way for long. Fake coming out from Stratus, fakes off Zebra on the ball. AO Stein getting a great touch. Kai now turning out. He's going to try to dish it out to AO, but not able to. Shut down by End, who puts the ball back into the Jungle's own corner. Zebra now making a play on the ball, looks for a second touch, but Stratus is going to cut it off. Kai now at the midfield tries to stop it, but End with a great bang. Down to Conundrum, but just off by Conundrum effect. He almost had that touch for the goal. AO Stein now looking for a flip reset. Doesn't actually need it. Just looking to keep the 50 tight and keep the ball in control of the victory. Great pass by Kai down to AO. Potentially on net, but cleared away by Conundrum. Stratus now banging it out towards midfield. Zebra cutting it off. And with an opportunity. Oh, but shut down by AO Stein. Okay, here's another opportunity. Conundrum trying to put it on. It's just over. Can Stratus get there? He can! They tie it back up. 38 seconds left. 3-3 here. Chicago Jungle showing that they are down but not out. They come back so quick. The offensive rotations from this team are so incredibly strong. Stratus is all over the field somehow at once. I love what I am seeing coming out from this kid. Just absolutely fantastic. He really needs a shot in Premier, but as a sub, he is making it happen. Stratus again in the victory corner. Almost gets the dunk, but it is deflected wide. And now, trying to put it on. It's going to get cleared away. Kai now trying to make a play on the ball. He's going to still be there, but a demo by Conundrum might open up some space. Stratus gets the beat on one, but it's free to AO Stein, who gets a free clear on the ball. Jungle now trying to collect in their own corner. We are down to the final 10 seconds. So potentially a dangerous touch from Conundrum. Kai putting this one up high. Conundrum's awkward. Is there a second victory player? There is not. Stratus now putting this ball to the side. Are they going to try to keep it up, or is Zebra going to drop it? They decide to keep it up, but it's going to go down. Now, this is do or die. Golden goal for the Jungle. If the Jungle score this, fantastic. They get to push it to Game 5. But if not, this series will come to a close very quickly here. Now Kai trying to get the beat on Conundrum, but Conundrum with a smarter touch. AO Stein collecting the ball in his own corner. Zero boost, great touch past Conundrum. Looks to get it past Stratus, but not able to. And his last player back. Oh, but a miss. Zebra now trying to get it past Conundrum effect. A great bounce is going to leave this ball wide. Another demo. Victory starting to break out the demos, trying to create some space that way. They haven't been able to beat the Jungle with their passes or with their midfield plays. Maybe they can create some space by picking off a defender or two. I mean, if you can pick off Stratus, that completely removes him from having any sort of offensive pressure and causes him to reset as Kai tries to put it on net. And that reset could be potentially huge as we see the Jungle get another clear. AO Stein looking to take this ball to the side. Stratus can be there. He's going to get a free pop-up. He's going to look for the shot here. Kai is there to shut him down. Conundrum effect in the opposing corner. It's going to get cleared away by AO Stein. Ball out in the middle field and taking it back to his own corner. Looks for the double. Going to leave it for Stratus, though. Zebra with a shot. It's going to go over the net. Kai unfortunately shut down by Conundrum effect on that one. Now End again, banging this ball out towards midfield. A lot of bang ball, a lot of high balls getting put up by both teams, hoping that they can have that second man get up on it to potentially make a play. But in those scenarios, you need that third man to be the guy who's going to score the goal. The second man just goes up fast on the ball to keep the pressure up, keep the defenders awkward. That third man is the guy who now has to score it. So neither team really willing to commit that third man to get that goal. They're both trying to play, passive as Stratus gets a great. What is Zebra doing? He's just missing it. Oh, ball put back into the victory corner by the Jungle. Conundrum crossing it in front of the net. Kai now with a chance out at midfield. Tries to get it past M, but M with a great read. AO with a shot on net. Stratus is there. There is now only one man left on the back post. Ooh, as they all come crashing in. Kai, great read to keep this ball in the jungle's half, which he absolutely had to do. If that ball came clearing out, all the victory players were on the jungle half, it was going to be a free goal for the jungle. Kai now with another center. A shot by Aostein. It's going to go wide. Water falling down, but Zebra's not quite there. Conundrum able to pick it up in his own corner. Trying to take it out towards the midfield. Ball is going to get banged out towards mid. Aostein, great read. Great centered ball. Can he get a second touch on it? No, Kai's left awkward. Zebra now has no teammates behind him because they both challenged the ball awkward. Ooh, Ale actually staying up on the play. Conundrum trying to get a touch on this one. Not able to get past Aostein, but that's fine because Stratus is there. Fantastic bump from AO to shut him down, though. Now Chicago getting control at the midfield. Here's a potential chance for him. Conundrum going up on this one. He tries to slow it down, but AO reads him. Great stuff there. And dipping it out to Stratus. Oh, but Kai shuts him down. Great defensive plays coming out from the victory. They are looking comfortable all over the field. They need to keep these rotations up, though. If these rotations get awkward, if somebody misses a ball, it's all over for them. As we see Stratus for the jungle, keeping the ball in the victory's half. Ball now in the victory's corner. Kai is going to look to dish it out to AO and cutting him off, though. AO still able to recover the ball, trying to go fast, but he's going to get shut down by Conundrum. Zebra crossing it to AO. AO reading it up the wall, trying to take it a little bit slow, but Stratus is going to pick it up for the jungle. A great fast touch by AO. A great demo there, potentially creating space. Conundrum with maybe not quite the touch he wanted. Kai not able to read the backboard bounce, though. Aostein keeping it in the jungle half for the victory. Awkward ceiling touch by Zebra. Kai is going to read the shot on. That was two players committing for the jungle. Here's a chance, potentially. Oh, a great shutdown by the jungle keeps this game alive. We are very quickly approaching the 4-minute mark here, folks, and this game has no signs of stopping. Really, we're just kind of waiting for one of these players to make a mistake, one of these subs potentially, who aren't a part of the main squad to make a mistake. As we see, gets dished down to AO, but AO's not able to put the shot on. That was their chance to end this series, but AO was not able to score it. Kai with a great back pass to Aostein in the Chicago corner. AO now looking to keep it going. Great touch down, read by Kai, off the backboard, cleared by Conundrum. Ooh, we have got End up there, but his touch is off. Huge opportunity for the jungle. What a way to commit that first man. Whoa! Oh, a big ghost touch, it looked like. Oh, man. Victory. What happened here? Up high. Oh, I didn't even see, maybe no ghost touch. Where's the... Oh, he might have left the lobby, so we didn't get to see his player card there, but Jungle's pushing this to game number 5. And you know, as we've talked about prior, these game victories don't matter. So now that we are at game number 5, this is all or nothing for both of these teams. The victory really looked solid, especially heading in with that lead. Gonna throw it back up to this so you guys can see real quick, taking a look at the score. But yeah, super tight game there. Really looking for the victory to step it up in the offensive zone. I really think when they started going for bumps, they were looking a lot more solid. They were able to create better opportunities, but that defense on the jungle is absolutely insane. The backboard defense that they've been exhibiting has been just crazy. So really curious to see how this is going to end up here, but getting game number 5 underway, a final series of the night. Of course, we had to go to game number 5 for you guys, but Jungle trying to get control in the offensive zone. It's going to get cleared away as N takes it back into the victory zone. Keeps it in their corner, but Zebra is going to be left with an opportunity. That demo frees up Stratus to go for a solo play. The double fake is going to leave him open! Let's go, Stratus. That was absolutely nasty. Fakes the ball, fakes the reset, gets the pickup, rises landing on the ground. Oh my gosh. Excuse me while I take a drink of water. Hoo-wee, Rick. We're off to a great start here. Jungle again getting the lead. We saw them do this last game, but we saw the victory respond quick and hard. So definitely curious to see how the victory are going to play this out. Their mental game is going to be huge in game number 5 here. They really need to make sure they're not over-aggressing. There we go. You love to see it. Zebra with a fantastic read off of Kai's ceiling touch. He's going to pop it up. Oh, that 50 there from Stratus is going to leave him free. And nobody else there in the net, but it didn't matter. Conundrum was up on the ball correctly and just not quite able to get it. 1-1, 1 minute gone, game number 5 here. We are off to a blazing start. Both teams here looking for these points. And as I mentioned, these games aren't necessarily for teams that are going to be auto-qualling for land. There's obviously a chance. Let's say the Chicago Jungle win this game, and if Duluth loses out, if Chicago, there we go, another goal from them. If Chicago wins this game, they take the major, and Duluth and Fargo both lose their next week's matches. Chicago has an opportunity to auto-qual for land. There is the opportunity for them to jump into that second place slot. I say that as I second guess myself, and I actually pulling up the Premier points here. First place is going to get 16 points for Premier. So no, neither of these teams have an opportunity to auto-qual unless they win this match and the Steelhawks lose out from here. Oh no, I don't even think that's enough because the Steelhawks won their match today, which has not been reported on this sheet yet. So yeah, unfortunately, neither of these teams able to auto-qual, but we are playing for seeding at this point. So Chicago Jungle having a rough start to their season, but definitely looking to come back, losing their GM Riker and trying to fill that slot, looking for a new player. I believe that it sounds like Jives is that new player that they're replacing. Unfortunately, Jives not here tonight, and ooh, neither is Remzik, but almost an opportunity there for the Jungle. Jungle keeping it in the victories half. Conundrum effect now, keeping the ball in the corner. Zebra with the free ball. Loses it to Stratus, who tries to put it on net. Kai smartly slowing it down in front of his own net. Stratus is really flying all over this ball. He is just trying to cause chaos and confusion on the victories half wherever he can. Hopefully that doesn't come to bite them in the butt, but it has been working for them, at least across these last couple of games here. Now the victory with an opportunity to pass down by Aostein to Zebra is going to be put wide. And with the ball at midfield, puts it on. Kai's the last player. That's going to be a free shot for them. Oh, Kai. That's the second time now in the last 2 games that he's been caught on this aggressive rotation. He got caught aggressive in the net last game, which caused the Jungle to be able to tie it up, take it into OT, and then take the win. And there he got caught aggressive, allowing the Jungle to just take the lead as we hit the halfway point. Game number 5 here. Kai looking to dish out to Ao. Great touch by Ao, but unfortunately Kai not able to clear that last defender to leave the ball for Zebra. An opportunity for the Jungle goes just wide. Stratus not quite able to capitalize. Kai, free pass to Aostein. If he can put this on, it's just in. No, Conundrum with a great rotate back. Fantastic rotation from him to keep that ball out of the net and keep the Jungle ahead here. As we see a double tap in the victory corner. Is that enough? No. Man, Conundrum is all over this ball. He can read this like nobody else. I absolutely love it. Chat, I don't know if this game is going at all how you expected it to, but man, very surprised. Yeah, man, just shut me up, Aostein. I really thought the victory were going to take this commandingly. They didn't. We've now gone to game number 5, especially with them having a free game number 1 win. But Aostein with the read off from Zebra's pass, just smashing it home. Love to see that there. Now tied up 3-3, minute 43 to go. Kickoff is going to go by way of the victory. They're going to take control in the offensive zone. Kai now looking to put it on. Great touch by N on his own backboard, frees it up. Aostein putting the ball back out towards midfield, trying to read Kai, but not able to. Stratus going up on this ball. We're going to see Kai try to make a play here in his own corner, trying to get it out towards Zebra, who pops it up. Aostein is going to be there. No, he's going to get cut off by N, and a potential double tap read. No, the University of Minnesota player not quite able to read that double, and Conundrum effect trying to get the ball out for the Jungle. Zebra, you can't miss those. You cannot miss those with 1 to go, tied up in game number 5. Unfortunately, just off. Hopefully that doesn't diminish his spirits too much, but victory, keeping pressure on the Jungle, pushing the ball back into their zone. A potential shot, but Stratus gets a piece of it and keeps AO from being able to score it. Whew. Man, chat, this has been an absolutely crazy game. My voice is hoarse, my throat hurts, and it's we have had a crazy game of Rocket League here. I absolutely love this. Approaching the final 30 seconds. We are tied up 3-3. Ball bouncing. Stratus puts it on, but Zebra's there to cut him off. Double commit, though. Ao could be out of position. No. Is Kai going to read it? Great bang. Kai trying to get the stuff. He does. Keeps it in the jungle's half. Conundrum effect in his own corner. Tries to get the ball out. Ao Stein's going to cut off that play, keeping the ball center. Another read from A.O. Stein, back out to Zebra. Zebra's going to put it off the backboard. Kai is up on this one. Waterfall down! Oh, but End is there to stop the victory from cleaning this one up. Holy. We are looking like we're going to have a Game 5 overtime unless Stratus... Oh, my gosh. Woo! Oh, man. I sure hope my mic isn't peaking and cutting out because I am yelling all over the place here. This has been such a crazy series. We have a Game 5 overtime to end out the night tonight, guys. Fuck it. I don't need to go to bed on time. We're going to stay up late tonight. Kai 15 this one against Stratus. The jungle now keeping the ball on their own end. End has a chance to make a play at the midfield. He's going to try to pass it out, but not able to. Fakes Kai, though. Stratus with the ball. Kai, free shot. It's over. It's not over. It's over. Okay. Thought maybe that was going to be the one that ends it, but it does not. Stratus looking for the double tap. AO is going to clear it up and over him. Great read by AO on his own backboard. It's going to leave Conundrum Effect with an opportunity. No, Stratus challenging that ball, trying to keep it in the victory's half. Doing a great job and faking it. Conundrum up. That is all the jungle players up. Here's a free chance. If Kai can get this past Stratus, he can't. Ooh, that was a huge opportunity there. Almost ended the game. Oh, it's ripped from Zebra. Put just off by the jungle's defense. Victory coming out swinging here, but we've seen them caught off a couple of times when they come out fast. Kai definitely likes to rotate that third man really fast, and it's caught them off twice this series. And if it catches them off again, it could lead to a series loss. So huge plays at stake here. I mean, both teams don't want to give an inch, but both teams have to be willing to commit on the ball in order to get it in the net of the opposing side. Kai left with the free shot. There we go. The victory, able to clean this one up. Man, unfortunate there for the jungle. They really tried to make a comeback. Victory just had to win 2, though, due to that game 1 forfeit. And unfortunately for them, it's going to fall to the Brainerd victory. Oh my gosh, chat. I'm hoarse. I'm gonna sound like crap at work tomorrow, but it is so worth it to see. I mean, just a fantastic match. That is exactly what you hope each of these games goes to. You're looking for these games to go the distance because that's what makes it the most fun for the viewers at home. So that game wrapping it up for tonight for you guys. Huge win there for the victory. Quick Horizon, of course, real quick. Let's go ahead and throw up the schedule for you guys so you can see what our games looked like. We had 2 Game 5s tonight. Lumberjacks winning the reverse sweep against the Rhythm. Didn't think it was going to go their way. Etro did, and he got that correct. Maulers falling to the Steelhawks. I really was hoping the Maulers would be able to crawl that back, but unfortunately the Steelhawks looking very solid. Derecho losing to the Atlas in game number 3 of the night. That was a straight sweep. That Ambrosia Fuego combo with Fishy tying them up is just disgusting. And as you guys saw, Victory took down the jungle there. So that'll be it. Next week is going to be a break week for us. We've got Thanksgiving off for our players, so hopefully they can enjoy the holiday. And then after that is our last week of regular season matches. We will have, that's the wrong screen. Next week, is an off week. The week after is our last season of matches. Hitting the major after that. Keep an eye out for announcements to come around that major. Don't forget, you guys, LAN tickets are on sale right now. Ticket link I am throwing up in the chat. You guys have the opportunity to buy a jersey at a discounted rate at the same time that you buy that LAN ticket. It's 20% off. You get both of them in a combo. Your LAN ticket only costs you $10 if you do it that way. Highly recommend. Equip Studios has done a fantastic job with these jerseys. Absolutely love what we've got. Fonty working with them on that one. They look fantastic, but that'll be it for us tonight. We will catch you guys in a couple weeks here. We'll have an overtime stream next week, I believe. Yeah, we didn't have one. We did have one this week. Maybe next week. Maybe not next week. keep an eye out on Twitter for updates. Same thing with our Discord. Make sure you guys are joined in there. But regardless, that's it for me. Thank you guys for joining us, and we'll see you later.
We on the top and we ain't